Alrighty, well, welcome to this week's Tokwa Ask Us Anything. This has been a massive, huge news week. And the first item we've got today is that Giga Shanghai has resumed production after a 2-day COVID-19 pause mandated by regional Chinese authorities. So it's great to see that Tesla's basically come back and they're roaring forward with their production. Next item we've got is that the 5-seat version of the refreshed Model X has finally commenced production and now joins the 6-seat variant as being available for delivery. Next item is the Los Angeles Police Department has offered a $1,000 reward for information leading to the conviction of a person who rented a 2018 Tesla Model S, which subsequently crashed after being airborne for several dozen meters.
Yeah. Watch out. Everybody watch out.
Remarkably, no one was injured, although a couple of wheelie bins were destroyed and 2 cars in the process. Next item we have is that Elon Musk has confirmed he is in the process of drafting his 3rd secret master plan. He has already stated that the main Tesla subjects would be scaling to extreme size, which he says is needed to shift humanity away from fossil fuels, along with artificial intelligence. He also committed to include sections about SpaceX and the Boring Company. Next, we have that Tesla will supply a total of 300 megawatt hours of Megapack battery storage to Australian company Edify Energy for 3 projects in southwestern New South Wales. The projects are the 60 megawatt, 120 megawatt hour Riverina Energy Storage System 1, the 65 megawatt, 130 megawatt hour Riverina Energy Storage System 2, and the 25 megawatt, 50 megawatt hour Darlington Point Energy Storage System. The last bit of news, and by all means not the least, is that the first 30 approved Model Ys built at Giga Berlin-Brandenburg have been delivered on site with Elon Musk, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, Federal Economics Minister Robert Habeck, and Brandenburg Minister President Dietmar Woidke. So that is massive news for Tesla in Germany and Europe for that matter. And that concludes the news. And we'll just quickly reset. Just realising that I hadn't spotlighted myself. But anyway, I'm not going to read that again. You could probably see that in the small image. But anyway, welcome to Ask Us Anything. I'm not doing that again. And that was a huge long script too. Anyway, welcome. If anyone is new, please say hello and tell us about yourself and your car. No takers? That's okay. All right, into discussion. So who wants to start off first?
Well, thanks very much, guys. Good night.
I got something, Harold.
Go, John.
If nobody else wants to talk about anything, does everyone know and understand why your Model 3, when you're charging at 50 kilowatts, it only shows 42? Is everyone cool? Everyone cool with why that's what's going on?
Called wastage.
No. So what's going on? So we installed a Scan My Tesla hack onto the car because we got a problem with charging, right? We need to charge a full whack and we're not getting it, so we need to find out why. And as it turns out, the battery needs to be at 51 degrees or thereabouts to take any DC or fast charging, right? And that sounds fair enough. So I did a test on the weekend where we put a 16 kilowatt DC onto the car and the battery was about 28 degrees. And sure enough, 7.5 kilowatts was going to heat the battery and the rest of it was going into charging the battery. So it was about half and half, 7.5 and 7 or something like that, or 7.5. And it did that for 33 minutes until the battery temperature got up to 51. And then immediately the heating turned off and the full 16 kilowatts went into the battery. So what's going on there is if your battery's not warm enough and you're driving around and you come across a tritium charger or something like that, not Tesla charger, but other charger, chances are you're going to get 7 kilowatts less than the charger's putting out, because the Model 3 is heating up its battery, getting itself ready to take the full DC charge. So there's a little snippet for you.
It's your motors. So your motors are...
it heats up the stators of the front and rear stators.
Yep.
And then the circulation pump circulates that into the battery, and that heat warms the battery up. So that all happens automatically when you go on a supercharger. So that's all the preconditioning. It's all smart when you go to a supercharger. But if you're going to a non-Tesla charger, you might find the battery's not hot enough to take the charge, and that'll be why.
So my question would be, if I'm going to Ravensthorpe in a couple of weeks' time, and it's only at 19 kilowatts, so I'm only going to get 12. Would I be smarter preconditioning the battery before I get there?
Yep.
And how much of my range is that going to use if I'm pushing it to get there anyway?
Well, 7 kilowatts. If you can get the heaters to come on, I'm not sure how you do that. Do you?
You just tell them you're going to a supercharger.
Yeah, but there isn't one down there. So
I see.
You tell it to go to Eton, and you're going the other way. Maybe it's smart enough to not heat it. I don't know. Try it out. Try navigating to to Eton and see what it does.
25 minutes beforehand.
Yeah, and what you could do too is actually, if you do it the whole way, so from your place, Richard, just tell it that you're going to Eton. Sorry, to Eton.
I'll be leaving Albany and then going to Ravensthorpe.
Oh,
yeah.
It's faintly possible no, it's not on the map.
Williams.
It would have to be on the map on your car for it to actually take notice. But what you could try is
Williams.
Look, just say you're going to Williams. Ignore all the directions, obviously, but you've got to tell it the actual supercharger pin, not just Williams in general.
Yeah.
Then drive to Ravensthorpe. Look, it won't heat the car because it does that about half an hour before it expects to get there. But what could happen possibly is it might shut down the cooling vents and stop actively cooling the battery, so it lets it get warmer than it normally would anyway on your trip. So that might get your battery closer to the target temperature, which means it'll only have to heat for a shorter amount of time at Ravensthorpe, possibly.
It's very interesting. If you sit in the car park in my place in O'Connor, and you turn on the navigation to Eton, right, which is a couple hundred k's away, I think, is it, or 150 k's? Straight away, it starts heating the battery. So the stators start taking power, and the circulating pump comes on. So if you're navigating to a supercharger, it will start doing something.
Interesting. Did you know that?
That's
Yes, that's a great tip there, John. The worst thing is, on an AC charger, it just doesn't do this. So even if that DC charger was in extreme, an 11 kilowatt DC charger, it would actually steal 7 kilowatts purely because it's in DC charging mode, which really is a software fault of Tesla's, and they should fix it.
Yeah, I think we discussed it before, but we really need a manual precondition option on the screen. So, even if you go into non-Tesla DC charger, you can just hit and go precondition, please.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. All right, has anyone got any questions or comments before we move on to other general stuff that's happened?
Hello.
Yes.
No,
Someone said.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe play all the disclaimers and all that crap while
Yeah. Oh, actually,
before I say, you know,
do we
your own
have
research? Buy
do we
shares.
have? Oh, we don't have Jared in the house, and we haven't got Russell. I've got to wait for Jared to come back. So yes, so whenever we talk about things like stock prices and stuff, we usually like to put this little disclaimer on.
The following segment is general in nature and shouldn't be taken as personal professional advice. Listeners should seek their own independent assessment from a qualified advisor and not rely on the general nature of information in this program.
But there you go. So that's just a sort of normal disclaimer we've got. We also have another one just in case we talk about other subjects, which sometimes we do, and it goes something like this.
Viewers are advised that this recording may contain references to Synergy, 2 Weeks, and Grimes. Anyone triggered by these or similar phrases should press pause and subscribe to the Nissan Leaf channel.
Now it's great that Jared has come into the office because hang on. Because Jared, yes, because no, this is because Jared truly is a super trooper, and that is without doubt.
Sounds a little bit. I might join Alex at the Mandarin Performing Arts Centre. Start doing a little dancing and sing song.
You might have to, Jared.
Yeah, who knows where I could get in there? I'll tell you, it'd be great.
I've also got
breaking news about Nissan Leaf. Just signed a multi-billion-dollar deal with Ryobi. It's called the Whippersnipper deal. And look out. The new Leaf, when it comes out, it's going to change rapid charging, putting in at, 4,000 something in the car really fast. And it's going to go, to here to the shops. And it's going to be amazing. And you'll be able to use the same battery for 22 different devices around the house. So, if you want to vacuum or anything, you can plug that in and then just put it back in the car. And then.
So do you have to whack it on the ground to get it to move?
No. This is Ryobi. This is a reputable product that's signed with Nissan to come through for the product, and it's going to be amazing. Sorry.
You have to blow in it.
No. It has a blower attachment. You plug the battery off the car onto the blower, and then you blow the leaves and stuff, and you can actually use a car as a lawnmower as well. It's going to be a new attachment.
I'm actually looking for a new lawnmower. So
yeah, so it's going to be called the Ryobi Leaf. It's going to be called the Ryobi Leaf, and once they finish building it, it's going to be a game changer. So moving forward, what are you going to say, Harold? We're going to talk about the demo Cybertruck that we saw today.
Yes.
One that sent over just to do a little bit of testing in the region.
Yes. At the moment, I've just got to go and rewind the camera a bit there, Jared. So it is true. We did find we wanted to keep a secret, but obviously Tesla didn't keep it very secret. But we can actually confirm that there is a version of the Cybertruck that's at Fremantle Port.
Different version.
Different version. It's totally sort of a different colour. It's slightly different form factor, but it's interesting nonetheless. And it goes. The
towing capacity is about the same though. 7.5.
Yeah, I think you'd call this towing capacity quite adequate. I'll just have to zoom in here, and it goes a little bit like this in the centre of the screen.
Hold your breath, Alex. Excited.
Right here. How awesome is that?
So you can't. That's just amazing. I was blown away when I saw it because it looked like something else, but I thought, no, that's not it. That's the Cybertruck in a different colour.
Where is it?
Canary yellow.
It's in canary yellow.
Yeah.
Yes, the whole pack right there.
Just in front of the whole pack.
It's more truck. It's not less cyber, more truck than anything. If you're looking at it,
So just imagine if that went rogue and ran over a few of these cars, you could probably take out several hundred in a go.
Oh, it'd be great fun.
So there you go. Thanks, Jared.
That's all right.
For that
stalking.
For that little bit of gap fill, I'm just trying to find a bit more of this footage of this ridiculous Tesla. I guess we could just replay it, which goes a little bit like this.
Yeah. Watch out. Everybody watch out.
What a moron.
Notice how the hazards come on. As soon as it crashes, the hazards are on, and it's got hazards all the way down the hill.
Elon's always wanted an electric plane.
Yes.
And Harold, that was in LA. That wasn't LA. That was actually Mandurah. It was just near Alex's house. A couple of Alex's mates there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
It's had a Friday night out in
Friday night.
Look at that.
Oh man.
If I was someone wanting to do that to the car, honestly.
Rented car. And hey, what a big reward they've given him, $1,000.
$1,000.
Wow, what did you do with it?
Nothing.
$1,000, like $1,000. That's amazing. You should have put more weight in the back. Isn't that right, Alex? You should have put some bricks in the back, the boot. Get the back weight down.
The LAPD.
Are they all okay?
Huh?
Are they all okay? Where's the headlight?
Oh.
Is everyone okay?
Let's go.
So, the end of the story, Harold, is everyone was okay until the LA police rolled up, and then 2 people are now dead. So, bit of an interesting story, that one, isn't it?
Was that another Tesla there that it crashed into?
It's
No, it was a Forester or something. I forget exactly what the other car was. But apparently he's actually, the guy is the owner of the other car, has started up a GoFundMe page to get his car replaced.
He was a Forester.
Forester. That's it. So interesting times in LA.
Maybe that is the the electric plane that Musk mentioned in Iron Man 2.
It's entirely possible. In fact, on Twitter, there was someone that actually there was a ridiculous news article. Wow, sorry, I just got to bring this one up. I just saw this on Twitter. And that's allegedly towing a tank.
See, that wouldn't surprise
Is that
me.
your car?
Are they
That's your car, Harold.
I've just realised that someone
is Carmen rang you during the week, said, Harold, can you come and move this tank? And then there. Bloody officer's day.
I wondered why Rob wanted a photo of my car towing something.
That's great.
I just found that by accident. I didn't mean to look at that, but anyway, it's easily distracted.
So good. Well done,
there
Rob.
was a news article.
Is there any news
Sorry
where
about that.
Rob will be out of witness protection? Is it a couple more weeks or?
Okay, this one. There was an article that went from Yahoo Finance. Tesla could eventually make flying aircrafts. Analyst. So I couldn't help saying that I certainly hope any aircraft Tesla might make are ones that fly, because they won't be very successful if they don't actually get off the ground. Hey, Yahoo Finance. But then, as we've seen, Teslas can actually fly, not just in jumbo jets. But yeah, there you go.
Yeah, boom, boom.
Bon bon. And thanks for the thanks for the photo, Rob. That was awesome.
He's hiding for some reason.
Oh, and actually, something else that is actually news is, and I tweeted this out as well. I didn't put this in the news, and that is that high-speed, low-latency internet from SpaceX Starlink now seems to be available in all locations south of and including Bennu, Mullewa, Yalgoo, Leonora, Laverton, Neil, and Beetle. So everything you see down here has Starlink available today.
Oh,
Any single address anywhere here in the lower part of Western Australia has complete Starlink coverage. So
I think you should go for a drive next week, Harold, and check it out. Let us know.
I just haven't quite got the time, but one day I will go to Eucla and go past all the roadhouses and tell them and show them, actually show and tell that you can get 200 megabits per second anywhere. And the good thing is you can do that with...
Remember, when you go to those roadhouses, Harold, speak slowly because they don't all have their teeth. You know what I mean? And they're like old people. They've got to show them slow and explain how the picture came about. You got to be very placement. You know, just got to take your time. I won't get it straight away.
I'll just say you can watch five simultaneous Netflix streams and they'll be in. That'll be it.
Yeah. How much is it a month, Harold?
It was
$139.
$139 a month.
Oh, yep. Okay.
$139 a month.
Which is it's not cheap internet, but the point is when you're out in the middle of nowhere, it's priceless and it's cheaper than Sky Muster or better, vastly better. And in fact, the further away you are, the better the more performance you get. So you can easily get well over 100 megabits per second all the time and often get approaching 200 megabits per second. Mind you, the $139 a month is free unlimited downloading. Well, sorry, it's unlimited downloads.
Yep. No, that's cool.
And some of us get 250 to 300.
Yeah, from time to time. And in fact, you are watching me from Starlink as we are watching Nigel, and we will be watching Pete. And Richard, you're also, I think, on Starlink as well. So there's about 4 of us on here right now that are on Starlink as we speak, for as long as that works, until it glitches. But
like it did 2 weeks ago with me and Richard and somebody else, it went off.
And Pete, no, mine was the only one that didn't go off, and I think that's because the Russians were particularly targeting my place, and they missed, unfortunately. So I'm still here to live to see to tell the tale. But yeah, so that's big Starlink news. Well, it's big news for internet in Western Australia. Literally, you can be a wheat farm in not Widgimultha, but in the middle of nowhere, Tammin or wherever, where you traditionally get nothing, or a roadhouse where you get a little bit of Telstra GSM sort of internet, which is pretty crappy, as you've experienced, John. And if Rob's here and a few other of us that have been on roadhouses, the internet's pretty crappy at the best of times. Now they can get basically rolled gold 200 megabits, easy peasy. You know, all for less than $1,000 up front and $140 a month. So it's a great deal. The news for the rest of the northern part of Australia is they are planning to have coverage in 2023, so that's next year. I did look at ACMA's, the Australian Communication and Media Authority's webpage, and SpaceX haven't yet had any approvals for any further base stations, ground stations in Western Australia. And that's all it hinges on. You just need some more ground stations in the Gascoyne and Pilbara or Kimberley, only a couple of them, and there'll be Starlink internet throughout Western Australia. The other thing you can do too is you can go to their website, and I think you can do this as many times as you like, and you can move your location. Previously, when you tried to do that, it would just say, no, we can't move your service to this location. Just be careful if you're playing around with it, because it actually does move it. It doesn't say, are you sure? If you point on a map or enter an address and hit go, it just does it. So that's how you can sort of do, you could call it roaming at the moment, is when you get to each location, you just update your service to that location. And then I presume within a few minutes or whatever it is, however long it takes for the database to refresh, to update, it'll just have coverage at that location with about a
You need
20
internet access to be able to do that, to get the internet access.
True. So you could have someone riding shotgun and you go, after you've driven 10 Ks or 15 Ks in a direction, just keep updating it incrementally if you wanted unbroken internet at the moment. Otherwise,
what are those base stations for? Or what are they actually, why do they need them in those areas, the ground source?
Oh, because the actual internet goes from I'll show you very quickly a map, and it's an awesome coverage map. And it basically, the internet bounces from a ground station up to a satellite and then back down to you. And I'll show you that right now. So this is Perth basically here. And this is Cataby, this is Meriden, that's Bullabulling, and that's Wagen. So basically, the internet that you're seeing right now is coming off this satellite, Starlink 2322, and it's going from the Cataby base ground station. So it's going from the main internet, which is fibre optic, up to the satellite, down to me. And then as this satellite sweeps along, it will obviously change. It'll hop to another satellite, or that satellite will hop to another ground station. So Kaiguna is about here. Eucla's about here. So you've got coverage from Bullabulling. And you can actually see the quality of coverage. So you basically got unbroken everywhere from south of near Northampton, basically going east to the eastern states, basically.
Incredible.
That's really cool.
What
So
we
eventually-
actually need is if you go across that purple triangle in Sydney, all our traffic goes in and out through Sydney. So we could really do with something like that, where it's got Sydney 1 and 2. We could do with something like that in Perth. We'd have a lot less latency.
You're dead right, Nigel. So what's actually happening is not only is the internet going, let's just say from our dish up to this satellite, down to this ground station at Wagen, but then it's going to the greater internet, which gets funneled to Sydney via optic cable to the point of presence. And then, in fact, for internet to get between Nigel, who's on Starlink, and me, it goes, and say we were next door, the signal will go from our two dishes up to the satellite, across to Cataby, over to Sydney, back from Sydney to Cataby, up the satellite, down to Nigel. So that's why the ping is 70 milliseconds, as opposed to what it ought to be, which is probably about 20 milliseconds or less. So eventually, when Starlink does do that, separate the point of presence, we'll get vastly less latency. Not more speed, but just less latency, which is the gap between it being sent and received. But I mean, Nigel, we can sort of talk fairly naturally, and it's not too bad. We don't really talk over each other, as long as you're a little bit careful.
That's okay. Just remember, Sydney is the centre of the universe, so it's fine. Everything going through there.
Well, even our friends in New Zealand across the ditch get their point of presence is in Sydney, because apparently it used to be LA. So they used to have shocking pings of like 200 milliseconds, and now it's only, 60, 70 milliseconds or so.
They're closer to Sydney than we are.
They are too, yes. Yeah, absolutely. They are a lot closer. But obviously, you can actually see that you can get coverage in the Pilbara, but it's obviously not of a quality that Starlink or a reliability that they're willing to sell yet. So it'll just wait for some ground stations to be established up in the Pilbara, and then basically it'll be good to go. But like I said, I've actually tried all the addresses in Lower WA right out to Eucla, and all the ones I mentioned in that tweet, and they all work. So they all say that Starlink is available immediately. So I will take it for a drive just as a proof of concept, just to show it off and, prove that it works. So there you go. Has anyone got any questions or updates?
Just on that roaming thing, I was looking at a YouTube thing where the guy had, for some reason, been granted roaming on his control panel. So he didn't have to put new locations in. He was able to roam, and that's in Australia. I don't know much of the detail, but I know he had roaming available, and he was very happy with what he had. So he didn't know how he got it, but anyway, he did achieve that status and was very happy with it.
Yeah, right. He might have actually got that inadvertently as part of the Ukrainian conflict, where perhaps his serial number on his Starlink was just included in a bunch of services that were enabled to be roaming.
Yeah, he didn't know himself the reason for it, but he started out by moving locations and that, and when he looked, he was granted roaming status, and that's really all I know. But you know, he's very happy with that result.
Yeah, cool. Okay, something that's interesting about, well, it's not quite, it's obliquely reference to roaming, and that is that you don't need to roam very far between the new CATL battery plant and the Giga Shanghai Gigafactory. And this video from, I think it's Wuwa, shows it really, really nicely, and I'll just play it now. So that's their new plant they're building. And that's the Gigafactory.
Looks like a great place to live. Want to get myself a 2x4 down there somewhere. That'd be great.
So it really isn't very far, and I think they actually very kindly show the reverse view.
So how big is the cattle one then?
It's all I know is I'd describe it as adequate. I don't know the answer to that.
That's all right. Sorry.
But it's rather large. I think it's actually quite rather large. Is it possibly 80? I could have this confused. It might be 80 gigawatt hours. Was that? I might have that confused with another factory. But it's going to be large. It's going to be a very large factory. And you know, there's no surprise who their biggest client's going to be. It's clearly going to be the Gigafactory, as opposed to other manufacturers. But yeah, it's something I did see the other day, well, actually earlier today, and I thought that was quite interesting. I just imagine these things as being, you know, miles away from each other or whatever. Shanghai is a big place, but it's actually, you know, it's probably less than a kilometre or, well, I mean, these are huge buildings, so maybe 2 Ks away. So it's really direct, almost direct line of sight, really, which is pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Now, speaking of batteries, we should be talking about charging, and something that we should always remind everyone every week is that if you have got a new car, make sure you Google the Synergy EV tariff. What it basically does is it gets your entire house between 11 p.m. and 4 a.m. a 30% discount on your power bill for any usage of power between those hours. All you need to do is have your car registered in your name, and for that name to also be the same that is attached to the Synergy account. So if it's a business car, you can't unfortunately get the discount. And if the name of your Synergy account is different to your car, then it's probably easier just to change the Synergy account name and apply for it. But there's basically no sting in the tail. There's no penalty tariff rates or anything like that. You just get the straight discount. There is a charge of about $95 or $120 to get your meter reprogrammed or replaced if it needs to be, but it's all in the one fee. And then I think you do get some amount of kilowatt hours of free notional use as a rebate every bill. But as was discussed last week, I think there's a bit of consternation about the fact they allege it to be a monthly rebate, but it only appears once in a 2-monthly bill cycle. So there might be an error there in either the website or their billing system, which no doubt Synergy will resolve in the fullness of time. But yeah, just Google. Sorry, go on, Jared.
No, he's just being Jared.
No, nothing. Yeah,
Jared,
Jared, if there's any issues.
Jared, you always are and always will be the. So
thank you so much. I'm feeling very bright.
And I'm really busting for Russell to appear, but I'm just going to have to stop myself.
I think Russell was in jail. That's the story I'm going with.
I'm just going to have to stop my finger from hovering over Russell's button. But anyway, when he's here, I will push it.
He's still 5 months,
ask?
5 weeks in the big house.
Yes, go, Carmen.
With Simon's new car, does he have to not charge the battery fully, or is it okay to charge it fully because it's different to mine?
Okay, so I presume his car is the long-range Model S? 3, sorry?
Yes.
Long-range, yes. So in his case... Performance, even better. Yeah. So in his case, he should charge his car no greater than 90% most of the time. But he can certainly charge it to 100% if he's doing a road trip or something like that. Mm-hmm. If all he needs to do is to go to the Tokwa YouTube channel, and I'm struggling to find it. Here we go. So if you have a look at the YouTube channel, so it's just youtube.com/Tokwa, and if he goes to the pro tips, there is actually one, and we'll just skip ahead to the road trip charging pro tip, and it goes something like this. If you're going on a long trip, you might want to charge your car to nearly 100%. Oh, that's a little bit fast. I didn't have that many amphetamines when I did this video. Here we go. If you're going on a long trip, you might want to charge your car to nearly 100%. It's not ideal to leave your car fully charged overnight, so here's a great pro tip to overcome this problem. Just leave your car plugged in to charge to 90% overnight, and then change the limit to 100% about an hour before you're ready to leave. You can also do this remotely using your Tesla app.
That sounds so sexy, that voice, I tell you.
Very nice.
Absolutely.
Very nice.
It just sounds like
Over
Marvin
the
Gaye.
next hour,
Bring it
the
on.
car will progressively charge to 100%, although the majority of charging will be completed in the first half hour. The last 1 or 2% takes the longest and can be skipped if you don't want to wait the extra 30 minutes.
Listen to that voice.
So there you go.
You must be so romantic in the house, Harold. Oh, just wait 30 minutes and I'll be ready to go. That's so
Sounded like a VB ad, Jared.
Hey, yeah.
Can I say something?
Oh, yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about.
I pressed.
Why did you have that ready? Why?
Oh, yeah.
I had to press Russell's button. I'm very sorry. I couldn't resist. So now we know something Russell doesn't. So that's his button.
Yeah,
but
cool.
Anyway, I was going to do one for Pete, but I couldn't find the theme for Wolf of Wall Street. So I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to try a bit harder. But anyway, yes. So Carmen, so there are YouTube pro tips. Sorry, I'll just get back out of that. If you go, so we've got navigate using smartphones, road trips, a few other things that Simon can have a little look at, and that applies to anyone that's got a a long range Model 3 or a performance Model 3 or a classic Model 3, which is the ones with the Chrome, without the Chrome delete. And also the big one here is when you actually look at your charging screen, sorry, let me just see. Oh, here we go. You actually see that printed on it daily and trip. That is the indicator that you should charge to 90%, which is on the bottom tick of the trip, or less. But if you've got a car that's a LFP battery, which is the standard range Model 3, you won't see the word daily or trip, which means you just charge to 100% all day, every day. And you don't have to ever charge to less than that. The car perfectly likes being charged at 100%. So you might as well use the entire part of your battery. LFPs really are completely different to the NCA batteries. NCAs, if you charge them to 100% and left them fester for a few weeks or a couple of months, it'll just kill them, literally. It will literally kill the battery. So don't do it. But that's only if you see trip and daily. Otherwise, 100% all day, every day.
Carmen,
Yes.
just want to say we missed you last week.
Hello.
Yeah, we missed you last week. Just want to say that I missed you last week.
Yeah.
And things have been a bit slow for Harold lately, so he's had to do a little bit of extra work for your insurance company over in the Ukraine there. If you want to see, Harold can bring up that photo of him doing a little bit of...
Also do this remotely using your...
He can, he's doing his
Sorry. You mean the tweet? Yeah, thanks, Rob.
That little towing work that you've been doing, a little extra cash on the side.
Yeah, I'm going to have to try and find that.
Find that later. So he's been working for your insurance company, Carmen.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, they weren't answering Simon, so I have a feeling he's gone with Suncorp.
Oh, Suncorp, okay.
I think so.
So allegedly, I was caught towing because it won't tow your boat, but it will tow something else.
Carmen, that's one of your...
And I must admit, tonight was the first time when I put it up, you heard my reaction live because I didn't realise. I know it's my car because I can see the Tokwa sticker on the back. So somehow Rob's gotten a photo of my car.
Rob's dodgy. That's probably why he's hiding tonight because he's
not even hooked onto the table. It's obvious.
He's responsible, Rob.
I know.
Photoshop does wonders, doesn't it?
That's very clever.
Very clever.
It's amazing what they teach at the men's shed in Mandurah. I tell you, they're educating him every week. I tell you, it's moving on.
Oh God.
It's nowhere near as good as the proper photo we've got for this car towing, which is this one right here, and that's much better. And that's Rob's car too. So that's Rob's car being filled up with a biofuel being towed, sitting on a trailer being towed by a car, a Model X that's being filled up by a biofuel that's on a trailer being towed by a truck that's carrying another biofuel on its back. So there's 3 biofuels, all built by John Edwards, who's in the room. And this was in Merredin.
Merredin.
Yeah, while we were at Merredin.
And there's 2 horses that towed the truck, is that right?
Draft horses, yes.
Draft horses.
But they were hungry and they had to go to pasture and eat some hay.
Ah, there you go. They don't run as good.
Exactly. So there you go. Any questions or comments? There is something that is pretty good news for those of us who are Tesla shareholders, and that is this is the 1 week performance of Tesla. So Tesla started a week ago at they opened at $809 on the nose, and they ended the week at $993.98.
Wow.
And that's a $192 improvement, or a nearly 24% improvement in 1 week.
On the news, it said 30%.
It did. Alan Kohler said 30%, and that had me really interested. I don't know where he got it from, because that's the chart. It's basically the numbers are $809 on the nose and 993. However, I'm not sure if I can do a custom. If I did it possibly 8 days, or let's just say from, Wednesday's market isn't open yet, so let's call it Monday. If we go from last Monday, it probably is 30%. I just haven't got the nous to bring that up.
But it's a long way from 1200.
No,
yeah, but
it won't
Rome wasn't
take
built
long.
in a day, Carmen.
Yeah,
No,
it
you
won't
can't
take
just-
long.
Yeah,
The current price, it's looking, the pre-open, it's down a little bit, but
That happens.
it's just bouncing around.
Elon will sneeze, tomorrow will go up $10.
Yeah.
That's it.
But with Elon's comments today about, he was talking about not 50% increase each year, but like 70-80% increase.
Yeah.
I think the market will finally start picking up once Brandenburg takes off, and then we got Austin next month. So
Yeah, once Russia
catch
stops
up.
doing what they're doing, I reckon things will change.
Oh, he's big.
It's
Go,
Pete.
It's
trying to share the screen. What Paul was talking about. Elon's comments. Can you?
Oh, cool! You got it. Yeah.
You've got it. I was just bringing up. Yeah, go, Pete. That's great.
Oh, sorry.
Put some bad lighting on him.
Can't hear.
To a sustainable energy economy.
Got it.
Our
Yes.
rough calculation is that it's.
I think Pete's frozen.
He's needed his Starlink. He's actually looks like a Rajneeshi right now. Looks like one of the committee members of the Rajneeshis.
Okay, I might be able to just take over.
Richard Cooper's
So,
70-80% a year on average, and maybe even faster.
sorry, Pete. I might just have to take that over. I'll see if this works a bit better. This is from Robbie Maurer, from an unknown source.
No.
Over the last week.
But what we're doing here is, with every car we make, with every battery we make, we're making the future better. So what you're doing really matters. It makes a difference. I'm sort of working on the master plan part 3, and it's huge. Yes, it's gonna be good. But a huge part of that is scaling to high volume. So in order for us to really affect the world in a positive way, because we get a lot of press, we get a lot of attention, but if you say how many vehicles have we made as a percentage of total vehicles in the world, because there's 2 billion vehicles in the world, well, so far we've actually are well below 1%. We're not even 0.5%. So it's essential for us to really affect the future in a positive way. We have to make a lot of cars. That's the only way. So, and this was that's why we call it a gigafactory. It's very big. And we're starting off with the Model Y, but we're going to do a number of exciting additional vehicles here. And so I think this overall is just going to be a center of excellence for sustainable energy in general, and it's really going to help the world. So, I look forward to doing it with you. Once again, thanks for everything.
Hey, Harold, you want to play the second clip that Rob played? So it's the second clip where he talks about the growth, and I think that's what Paul was talking about.
Yeah.
I think I've got that. I think it's here.
Out. Sure, could just be lip service, but you want to ask him best case in 10 years, how many more gigafactories
Sorry, it's
would there be?
How far is it?
For a second and said best case 10. Then he went on to say that, quote, I think it's aggressive but not impossible that we could do 20 million cars in 10 years, end quote. So I've kind of wondered aloud if master plan additional markets.
So again, Pete, it's further on, isn't it?
I think you pretty much had it there. I think it was about to come up.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Okay.
And to have additional products, end quote. He did say, though, that they're still working hard on Cybertruck this year to make sure that that is ready for production next year. He also added a salient point that seems before. Now, even with those constraints, Elon did talk about growth, and that's the last clip I'll play here. I won't spoil it, but very exciting comment from Elon here.
That in the long grand scheme of things is how many terawatt hours of battery can be produced per year. Our rough calculation is that it's about 300 terawatt hours is needed to transition the world to a sustainable energy economy. There's a lot of batteries, basically. So we want to try to do as much of that as possible. And I think we're actually doing a pretty good job. Like we're, growing by, I don't know, 70, 80% a year on average, and maybe even faster than that in the future. So so that's, I think, the answer to why not more markets and why not more products.
All right, so obviously Tesla talks about...
You're right, Pete, because it's just mind-blowing, isn't it? What was that person, that very wise man that said that Tesla might get to $20,000 a share by the end of this decade?
Thank you.
Well, I mean, I don't think there's ever been a company in history of anywhere near comparable to Tesla's market cap that's, posting those sort of growth rates. I might be wrong, but I'd be, very surprised.
Do your own research, but buy shares.
It is just extraordinary, the growth. And Elon Musk said he wants a sizable portion of those 300 terawatt hours. And he's already stated that Tesla are doing 70 to 80% growth and possibly even more.
In the future, yeah.
In the future.
Well, they grew 83% last year, but yeah.
It's literally mind-blowing. So I just wonder if a little kid back a few years ago, such as this little kid, could ever have thought that he might be talking about Tesla in those sort of terms.
Is that Oliver Twist?
Who's that kid?
Looks like Pete.
Have one wild guess.
Oh my God. Where the hell did you get that from, Harold?
I know people in low places.
Hired a PI or something.
I think what...
I've not seen
anyway.
that for maybe 30, 40 years. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think you were 12. Or was it 9? 9 or 12.
Right.
At Kent Road. There you go.
Kent Road, Pete.
What's that?
You went to Kent Road?
I did.
Oh, cool.
That was in Sydney.
In Sydney?
Yeah, primary school in Sydney. And from there, I went to Holy Cross College, which was a all-boys school. So it was just completely unnatural.
And now this is your life. And we've got your old teacher, Mrs. Cookshank, coming to. Yes, I remember Peter. He was such a naughty little boy. I used to want to play with the abacuses all the time.
It's abaci. Come on, we all know it's abaci, not abacuses. Anyway, so has anyone got any other questions or comments about Tesla or its growth or anything else that's happened lately?
Well, if you look at, they've just produced 1 million vehicles in 21. If you get 50% growth, after 8 years, you're at 25 million vehicles.
Yeah, that's right.
So by 2030, that would be 25 million at only 50% growth.
Got to.
Oh, and it'll be more than that.
No, it's 25,680,000.
No, your calculations are correct, but Tesla's going to do way more than that. Definitely.
At 50% compounded every year for 8 years, it's pretty good.
Yeah, well, he was talking about 70 to 80%, but then someone asked how many gigafactories do you have by then, and he was talking about another 10.
10.
And you're just going, if they're 1 million to 2 million vehicle factories, yeah, it's going to be a pretty good time owning shares. and I think less than 1,500 is going to be a bargain.
All I can say is if I die, I don't want to come back on this planet working in China in one of these factories. Right now, that's not my gig.
No.
Well, no.
If I do, you'll be right next to me, Paul, sticking on the Tesla badge.
Sounds great. I don't think I've been that naughty to deserve that.
Pete asked, "How the hell did I get that photo?" It's the same place that a similar way that I also found out that his best rank in tennis was 897, which is a fantastic effort on the. Is that wrong, Pete? 25th of July, 1994.
That was in singles. I was top 500 in doubles, and I was.
Yes, you were. Well, no one counts doubles, mate. Come on, it's all about the singles.
Yeah, come on, Ash Pete.
I was about to say, and then like Ash Barty retired.
Ash Pete retired. That's right.
Ash Pete pulled back. He was like, "Ooh," he got into.
Broke my arm.
The old war injury.
But I
got one on the other side.
I already quit. I broke my arm, so it's not a.
Who was that? Who was that ice skating star that broke that conspired? Sorry.
Oh, no, it wasn't Torval and Dean. Sorry.
No, it wasn't Torval and Dean.
It was,
she was a top star, and then she conspired with her boyfriend or husband or something to injure. Yes, that's it. Tonya Harding. That's it. Yeah.
I think that's Carmen's cousin. Carmen, is that your cousin, Tonya Harding? I think you got some. She's in a real estate game with you. I think there's some. I'm not sure, but I'm
no. I have a few cousins that do things. Firefighter in Spain.
Oh, in Spain. Okay.
All right. So back to Tesla. You got any Tesla questions or comments?
Let's talk about Master Plan Part 3.
Okay.
Okay, so I think you missed the news, Pete.
Sorry.
But, no, that's cool because when I read the news, and I went to such a lot of effort, and then I ended up finding out it wasn't even full screened. So I'm probably going to militantly read it again tomorrow morning and chuck it in. But yeah, what he had basically said was Elon Musk has confirmed he's in the process of drafting his third secret master plan. We might as well get him. Oops. Oh, there we go. Confirmed he's in the process of drafting his third secret master plan. He's already stated that the main Tesla subjects would be scaling to extreme size, which he says is needed to shift humanity away from fossil fuels, along with artificial intelligence. He also committed to include sections about SpaceX and the Boring Company. So yeah, discuss, Pete. What do you reckon?
I'm really intrigued by that extreme size because, like Rob Mao said in the video today, in that video that you just played, in Berlin, he basically reaffirmed the 20 million by, 2030. So, I mean, is he? What's he talking about?
Could he be talking about
what?
Producing batteries for third parties, perhaps?
But I mean, I think he said that at the moment it's chips, then it's going to be batteries, and then it's going to be materials and mining that are going to be the limiting factors. So if he expects batteries to be a limiting factor after chips have eased, then it doesn't make sense for them to be selling batteries to others.
I mean, in later years to get to an extreme size with the 300 terawatt hours that have to be produced, and he wants to do a sizable proportion of that. Which, the first gigafactory was dimensioned to, was it 10 or 20 gigawatt hours, and that was thought of as being ridiculous because at the time that was in excess of the world's combined production of lithium-ion batteries. So he's saying 300 terawatt hours, obviously not per annum, that's just in total. So I guess he'd have to try and produce, if you want to get this done in, say, 10 years, you're going to have to produce 30 terawatt hours per year.
That's crazy.
That's 30,000 gigawatt hours.
It's insane.
Yeah. That's nearly as bad as like Richard Chapman having to go to work and perform magic for 8 hours.
I know.
At 9 to 5. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous when before he could do that 12-hour day and he'd only have to show up for half an hour and then just go, I'm just going down to do the thing with the button. That goes, bing,
just do pre-start and disappear.
Pre-start, and then that was it. You go back to his room, have a little sleep, and now there's no room, there's no sleeping, there's no meals, there's got a coffee machine, and that's it. You know,
many a true word is spoken in jest.
It's just wrong, you know, and we don't see Gina in the background anymore. Is that Gina there? Oh, no, I thought it was
I think we need to get a change.org petition. We need to get Richard's working conditions modified.
Yeah,
although
we could put a donger at his work, so he just goes down to a donger every night and then comes home on the weekends.
That'd be convenient. Yeah. No, but I know. Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that.
When they said, you got to do 5 days work, and then I'm like, and I get 5 off after that, right?
No. 5
I have
days.
been riding the Harley in every day, though.
How are you supposed to start a 5-day project at home when you've only got the weekend?
I don't know. Yeah.
I've got a snippet, Harold. Another snippet.
Yes, John, go.
Just to update everybody, our Polestar friends have finally made their contribution to the Kaiguna campaign. So
Fantastic.
we've got 6,600 Australian dollars put into the account overnight last night. So
cool.
It took a while to get done, but they came through. So we appreciate that very much.
Yeah, absolutely. And many thanks to Polestar for making good on their commitments, which is fantastic.
Great.
Yeah.
And it was great seeing the car there charging up at Kaiguna and driving all the way to Southern Cross, which was a great achievement.
Just on that car, I'm trying to buy that for my daughter in Brisbane, and so I'm looking at driving it across to Brisbane. So if anybody's looking for something to do, want to do a bit of co-driving or a bit of driving, just a quick trip across there and fly back.
When's that, John?
Well, they won't give me a date that it's getting that's available. They're waiting. Apparently, Wanneroo, who's the dealer up there? It's Barbagallo. Maybe they're going to be the dealers for Polestar, and they're waiting for a new car. And once they get a new car, that one will become available. So I'm trying and get hold of that.
Oh, so it'll be that very one.
Yeah.
Cool.
The demo one.
Yes.
Got a bit of history.
It has too. What you should tell them, John, is that, since I've sat in it and I've done a review in it, it's highly devalued it. So, they need to sharpen their pencil and give you a good discount.
I could tell them that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't think there'll be too much discounting going on. I think second-hand EVs are bloody getting rare as hen's teeth.
Well, what if I admitted to throwing up under the back carpet and covered it up and didn't tell them? No, I didn't do that, really. Of course I would have told them.
Wasn't somebody selling a Model 3 SR Plus for $98,000 in Australia?
Actually, it's great that you said that, Nigel, because I did actually late last week or on the weekend look at. So you can actually see, I've actually got it preloaded on car sales, and there are 11 cars in Western Australia. And just have a look at some of these prices. This is excluding transfer fees. So there's a long range for 90,000. You've got a performance for 109,000, excluding government charges.
Oh wow!
109,000.
109,000 plus.
How many Ks on that?
5,000.
Oh, dear.
And then Yep, and then you've got, oh, have you got too many ads? You've got a standard range that's done nearly 8,000 Ks for $74,000, excluding ons. So you've got stamp duty to pay, obviously. You don't have the original proper big stamp duty, but you've got transfer fee, which is still a stamp duty. And you got a performance for 94 and a bit, 13,000 Ks, a 2020 car, mind you.
Well, that's old.
And you've got another performance for 110, done nearly 25,000 Ks. I bet it has not done 24,888 just quietly. I think that's a little bit of a marketing spin, but and there's another one that's a performance for nearly 100, 17,000 Ks. Another performance for 97,000. It just gets better and better. Another performance for 107, done 15,000 Ks as a 2020.
These are in Perth, Harold.
These are all in Perth. Standard range plus 17,000 Ks, a 2020 model for $75,000 plus on roads.
I'm taking the piss.
They are. This, it just goes on, and well, that's the end of it there. I think one of them was a private use, private sold, dealer. Actually, that one might have gone dealer. Oh, private. Here we go. This is the 109. So I'm not going to say they're taking the wee, but they are, because this one.
Explanation to these, Harold. See, what they do is they buy these cars and then they put a horrendously high price on them because they don't want them to sell, because they use them to drive. They use them as their own drives.
Yeah. That old trick, that old chestnut.
This one's Happy 5. Yeah, I have seen this car before, Happy 5. And the rego expires in June. It's got 3 months rego. Actually, do you get 12 months on a brand new Tesla?
You do.
Okay. So 2021, yeah. So just what sort of concerns me is that we know that they're not fantastic prices whatsoever. But of course, if you're desperate to have a car, well, actually, I take that back, because Carmen in the room has a son that can prove that if you're at all flexible with paint color, or even if it's just a happy coincidence that it happens to match what you like, it is possible sometimes to opportunistically get a car that's been a fall through sale. But
Carmen,
that's awesome. And that
Carmen,
leads
did your
me
son
to a
like
question.
it? Does he really like the bright pink?
No, well, actually, I wanted to ask, how do you change the dash? The strip on the dash is bright white, and it's really off-putting. Yeah. Can we change that?
Yeah, what you do is you go to Northbridge, leave the doors open, have a little sign and say, can you please tag my white dash because it looks terrible? And they'll just get some black paint for you and they'll just tag it. Problem solved.
No, it's inside.
Yeah, Carmen, you can vinyl wrap it.
Yeah.
I did mine as soon as I got it.
Yeah.
White is beautiful.
2 years ago. No, it shines off the side view mirrors. You can't see out in the sunshine.
No, it's not very nice. It's
very dangerous.
got white seats, and I'll take the photo, but I find it off-putting. And in case I get the car later, I'll just get him to change it now.
So, Richard, have you got, where'd you buy it from, the vinyl wrap kit or the wrapping kit?
I can't remember. This was over 2 years ago, but they're everywhere.
If you want to see one that's horrendously expensive, but looks like it's very high quality, Harold, just type in Hills, so HILLS.
Yep.
Made, MADE.com.
Oh, got it. Oh, yeah.
Dashboard. It's actually made out of real wood.
Oh, yeah, that would be horrendously expensive.
How much is it, Pete?
Oh, it's $300 US.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. I like that.
I like it too. And there's different colours as well. I quite like the darker one.
Purple
the
heart, ebony.
The Kari's got black upholstery.
What's the black one?
And too dark.
That's ebony. The maples, that's light, but I think maybe the walnut's pretty nice.
Yeah, the
walnut or silver would be okay.
So if we go, say walnut, we go add to, if we go add to cart, and then we just go back to get the center console Gen 2. So we'll get the whole set.
Carmen, you'll get into the yacht club for free with that walnut. Standard colour for the membership.
So if we go to the checkout, so I'll just help you with this, Carmen. Checkout, it's 596 Australian.
You got a credit card, have you, Harold?
Yeah, but I remember last time I hovered over the credit card, it auto completed it and showed everyone.
But how? Who can fit it?
Oh, it's 2 minutes. Just unclips. It's the simplest thing in the world.
Richard Cooper can fit it. He's a doctor.
We might be able to do a special live episode with a bit of ASMR Tesla trim fitting.
Great idea. Event, Paul. Event.
Yep.
Do a live
there
event.
you go.
We can get Richard Cooper to do it nude, like jelly wrestling.
You really don't want to go there.
Jelly wrestling. Oh, okay. Well, there goes that idea.
And it wraps around. It wraps around to the doors. I'll take a photo.
Oh yeah, that's right. I know what you mean.
The new one does, yeah.
Yes.
The new ones continue.
I don't know that actually, if we go back out of the that might be one little thing that might not have on this website. Actually, that looks like that's extra wood door panels. We've got to add that to the cart as well. So the price has gone up. Okay, so here we go to the checkout, and that's going to cost you only $1,000, $789. But that's Australian AUD.
Oh, okay.
Right.
So, but as Pete said, that is the duck's nuts. Like that is absolute. I think that's real wood veneer. So it's absolute schmicko quality. That's A1 quality. Whereas some people have described stories where they've bought kits and all it is like contact that's been hand cut. Like it's just unusable and wrinkled and it's just terrible. But I don't know, has anyone had any experience with approaching a person that does vinyl wrapping or, car wrapping? I don't know how much that would sort of cost.
It's easy enough to do.
Yeah, it's easy.
Go for it.
Can I share my
screen?
I've
done my own.
Yeah, go, Richard.
Hang on. I'll get back to...
All you guys talking it up, maybe you could help Carmen, because she needs help with this wrapping thing. Huh? So,
there you go.
Nice.
So I did that matches what I did on my center console because I had that piano black crap. So yeah, it's easy, and that was before I knew how to pull the dash apart. And that's if you did it on the bench, it's a very simple job.
Yeah, Simon's not a handyman.
It takes 2 minutes to get that out. You just pull the end covers off and it just pops out. It's the simplest thing in the world. Yeah, very.
I think I'll go see Harry.
Harry they don't do stuff like that. They don't.
He just does those haircuts. Does that Lloyd haircut that Harry's got going on.
Okay, how do I stop sharing? There we go. Stop sharing. There we go.
Well, they've got a workshop.
Yeah, but they don't do that stuff.
They don't do work in there.
Well, they don't even come and do your own car.
Yeah.
I've got a clip on my center console it's popped inside, and so I'd done a service request, and it was like, oh yeah, no worries, I'll come around, and they go, oh no, they're going to have to replace the whole bloody thing because it's not a separate part. So they're going to send that in, and then they're going to send Ben out in the car to change it. It's crazy. I think. Sorry, my rant.
I think they had an install video on the site, didn't they?
Yeah, I'm just trying to. There is a video.
Like Christmas time, they did that to you as well, Paul, didn't they?
And that's exactly when we came across the idea of hills.
Nice to meet you. Stepped in first.
That looks nice.
It does.
Makes me want to buy a logging company. Beautiful.
And
Oh,
since
that's
the beginning,
colour. White
I've been
seats
missing something.
with,
I remember being at the
alcohol
supercharger and taking a look at the other cars charging next to mine and thinking we all have the same car, right? I have a Model 3, some people have the Model Y, but gray, white, that's it. How can we finish your concerns in a pollution and a dashboard solution, as those are the main two pieces in a Tesla?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. Boss like keeper. Hopping on the flight. See
Amazing.
Might be a bit too early for this sort of thing.
That looks nice. It looks good.
Hey,
I like.
different car. His was a Model 3.
Oh, good dad joke.
It's champagne. Champagne. Ask us anything.
Oh, drink after that.
The show has gone to the dogs, I tell you. Just down and down, down.
Oh dear.
Model 3.
So there you go. So it can be done for less than $800, and that's the absolute premium. That's yeah, that's fantastic.
I think it might have to happen. That white looks awful.
We could do a live stream and get Richard Cooper over there and do a live stream it across. So it'd be great.
Well, I could drive it somewhere.
Yeah, just bring it to Richard's place and
Just need to get the vinyl. I can do it for you. It's simple.
Yeah, great.
we'll live stream it.
Now we could do one of our meet and greets, and we just
Yes.
put it out in the carport in the car park.
That'd be good.
Just a little.
We could do a demo.
Yeah.
Do a demo.
Yep, we'll film it in 4K and put it on the interwebs.
Yeah. Great idea. It's going to be a bestseller.
So for anyone else who's interested, that is hillsmade.com.
Like Blue Lagoon, but just a little
I've
bit
got it.
older. You reckon, Paul?
Well, obviously, it's in the US, huh?
I presume so, but these days with logistics, it doesn't matter. It's just worldwide shipping.
Yeah.
Oh, it's by the way, John, that thing will be shipped on the 4th of April.
Okay. ETA unknown or
4th of April. That's the E ETA.
ETA 4th of April? Oh, shit. That's good.
Mountain Pass, mountain, whatever. Yeah.
Oh, man, Pass Performance. Ooh, what are you getting?
Fantastic.
So there you go. Sorry for the little interlude.
Hey, Lance, any update on your car? Lance?
Still in Melbourne.
Oh, it's still in Melbourne.
The ship's about to dock the next day, so I reckon I'll probably have it in a couple of weeks, maybe.
Yeah, right.
How long's that?
It's pretty quick. It doesn't take long to get. Think all that'll take? 2 weeks. 2 weeks?
Really?
2 weeks.
Any idea when you're going to be finished here?
2
weeks. 2 weeks.
How long will it take to put this place together?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
If I do get the permits, how long will the job take?
2 weeks.
2 weeks? 2 weeks? You sound like a parakeet there. 2 weeks? 2 weeks? Well, 2 weeks? It's amazing.
Amazing nothing. It'll be a regular miracle.
Carmen, Tesbros have the vinyl wraps for the front and the side panels, $116 US.
And what is it?
That's wrapping it.
But I don't think they have it in that wood grain colour, have they?
No, they wouldn't. No, they've got all sorts, but not wood grain.
No, I think Carmen's a wood lady. She likes the real stuff.
No, she's not one of those fake girls, no.
She wants something with a Cambrian layer, not something that was laid down in the Precambrian era.
Yes.
And dug up and then converted to plastic.
Well, why do you swap with someone who's got a?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Some people
like
like a wood grain.
Rolex, not Rolex.
So I would go on the forums and say, anyone want to swap the wood for a white, or just
Yes.
they buy
Yes.
aftermarket carbon fiber ones, and they've probably got them sitting in the garage.
Yes. Okay, that's a good idea.
There's been a couple of people on Facebook pages wanting to swap white for wood or wood for white, and others a bit. So it's worth a shot.
Okay.
They just clip in and clip out.
A lot of people have made that mistake and got the white, unfortunately.
Oi.
Just few poverty areas. Yeah, the wood's good though. The wood is the way to go, Carmen, isn't it? Wood.
Yes.
So what's the center console on your car, on the white car?
That's a bit personal.
Mine was piano.
I think it's black. Everything is black inside with a white and white seats.
Right.
And the seats have black at the back.
But it's like a matte finish nowadays.
And
They don't have
the,
piano
Not
black.
that horrible piano
the
black.
exterior
Yeah.
color is dark gray, so it's all very dark.
Yeah, the white seats would lift that beautifully.
They sort of lift out a bit too much. They're a bit too bright. I don't mind the off-white. The white is very bright.
Oh, you haven't seen my teeth, Carmen. We better never meet. Well, that's wrapped. You'd be wrapped in one, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I did that a couple of years ago with carbon fiber. So
What did you do, Paul?
carbon fiber.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a few years ago because I'm OCD.
The silver looks okay too.
Now you want to go the wood, Carmen. That's
Yes.
the look.
Yeah,
that,
no,
that
it's
looks
better.
like that looks classy.
A little bit more
Yeah.
classic.
Yeah.
If you can source some, Carmen, I'll fit them for you, mate.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you.
Easy.
Good on you, Richard.
Oh,
Good on you, Richard.
not a big job.
He's amazing.
That's all right. We
He's
can
more-
I
have
think
lunch
that's
afterwards.
worth at least a lunch or something. I think.
That's it. That's
Yes.
he doesn't eat much because he's he doesn't eat a lot of food. Richard, he's very.
Oh, well, I'll have the lunch then.
What's this?
Hey guys, can you see that? I've just shared my
Yeah,
screen
that looks
while we're
cool.
talking about interiors. So
Yeah.
these are the new seats for the Berlin factory. The new
Oh.
Tesla seats. They've got a
Gee, in the middle.
engraved logo in the fake leather.
That was white.
Wow.
That was really nice.
I agree.
No, I like
Does it
that.
come with those robots, Pete?
Yeah.
It'd be good for a back massage.
What about
I
car
really
seats?
would like a massage one.
Can we get covers?
You can, but
Yeah.
you've got airbags in the seats, so
Oh, yeah, it doesn't work.
I know the covers still work with the airbags apparently.
some do.
Yeah.
Is the new seats is the head adjustable or is it fixed like ours?
Looks like it's fixed.
Uh,
Same. Yeah. Looks like the only difference is that logo.
still looks cool. They are comfy seats though.
They are very good.
Cool. Now, have we got anyone new? I'm not sure about Daniel. I think you might be new, Daniel. So if you are, welcome. Or if you're not, welcome back.
Christine's new. Christine, you new? Yeah, Christine's new. There you go, Harold.
Oh, sorry, and Christine. Yeah, you were here before. I did invite you to say hello, but it was cool that you didn't earlier. But welcome.
Thank you. I've been here a couple of weeks now.
Oh.
Oh, yes. Sorry. No, I do recall you with your partner. No, I do. I do recall you now. Sorry, apologies.
It's stranger danger. We don't talk to
I've
police.
got to confess that we get so many new people coming that it's literally a blur because of so many new faces and new names.
I do have a question.
Yes.
First of all, we got to give a moment of silence for my lovely husband, Steve, because he had to drop off the Tesla to get the PPE, and he's not going to have his Tesla for 3 days.
Oh no.
They gave him a Toyota Yaris for 3 days. What?
Oh no.
Oh, the poor guy. He says, I'm not going to drive it.
They do that just to make it even that better when you pick up the car.
But anyway, my question is, we're obviously new to the Tesla thing. We're spending our kids' inheritance.
Oh, good.
Skiing.
But husband wants to get the what's it called, the strip down the side, the black strip down the side of the Tesla. Does anybody else have that? The black racing strip down the side?
Oh,
like-
stripe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Richard Cooper, this is you.
I've got a dark car already, mate. I don't want any black strips on mine.
This is all your.
We got a red one. Everything is black and red. And if the car is red and he wants a black stripe down the side.
He can have a black stripe down the side if he wants one. Let him have one.
Yeah. I've got a Sharpie. I've got a Sharpie that might that could do it.
Straight, but it'll still be black.
I've got a Bunnings ruler that will probably keep it pretty straight, so we could just, relatively just that'd work.
Yeah, absolutely. Is he happy with that? Or?
Oh, he loves it. Yeah.
Oh, I think
Hey,
you
Christine,
might
I'm about to share my screen. This is from AliExpress. It's pretty cheap, so I don't know if it's any good, but
You beat me to it, Peter. I was about to do the same thing.
Oh, right.
that exact page.
Showdown with you guys, I tell you.
Yeah.
Ooh.
It's a Model S.
That's what he wants to get, but he doesn't want the Tesla word. He just wants the stripe with no Tesla.
Well,
Oh, you can just cut that off. Yeah, you just leave that off on the. It's just a transfer. Yeah, it's like a vinyl cut. So you just you can just snip that off.
Stripe in black on the red with no word Tesla.
You got to be careful with that sort of stuff, Christine. That attracts a lot of young girls. Do you really want that on your car? Like, with a lot of young girls will be starting to hang around, and
The mob that did the PPF for you on the car should be able to do something similar.
Yeah,
It's just a
somewhere
stripe.
Yeah.
I mean, you could go to Officeworks and get some contact, and you just slap it on, and we'll get a Stanley knife and just cut around the profile. It's okay. We'll give it a go.
No, the PPF people will just laser cut it in black and just stick it on.
Exactly.
Just they need a picture of what you want.
I don't care. I just like driving around in it. It's just so on, isn't it?
Do you want a stripe?
I don't care, really.
Maybe some flowers or something down the side.
Fucking way.
A little vine.
Flames. Let's go back 50 years. Flames.
With a couple of stickers on the back.
Remember in
Some
19
unicorns.
Yeah, unicorns.
with the fire bird on the hood?
Yeah.
Oh, the half-naked woman on the hood. That's
Oh, the
the Sandman.
firebird on the.
Oh, the Firebirds. We got that
Yeah.
far back. Sorry, Richard. Cooper.
Yeah, Trans Am.
The Trans Am Firebird. I thought you'd talking about the panel van with the naked woman on the side, half-naked woman on the side of the panel van.
You're thinking about a different bird, Jared.
Oh, sorry, it was too. Sorry, yeah, it was too. I was thinking of the, don't bother knocking if she's rocking, that one. Is that the one? Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Deary me.
All right,
A
somebody.
little bit of decorum, please.
Oh,
Yes.
I thought we were just being nostalgic.
What I was about to show you, if I did share my screen before, is for Karen, because I found this. Yeah, there's some red seat covers there. You can, if you want to change that completely.
Oh, bloody hell.
I was actually thinking about getting.
What about this one?
Oh, just to match your shoes, Pete. Just to match those runners.
It's real leather.
I've sat in some of the seat covers in the Model 3 and they slide it around a bit.
That's a bit.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about, Richard. But I wanted to get these in the white, just in the all white.
You should have just bought a proper one like mine. No, they do around a little bit. They're not as nice as the real seat.
You get a bottle of wine with that, or there you go.
Was it too much of a put off, Richard? Was it really?
I wouldn't buy them. I'd sat in and I thought, oh no, you can feel them moving a bit, which you don't get in a normal seat. Well, I know Carmen's son wants to change from black to white, so why don't you swap with him?
No, he's got white.
I know, and he doesn't want white, does he?
No, just the dash.
He was a little bit surprised. He's ordered blue with cream and timber for the S.
Right. So he's just putting up with the white seats at the moment.
Yes.
So the blue with.
Available?
Oh, yeah. Go on. Do the seats again. Whoever that was.
It was
Andrew.
Andrew. Sorry, Andrew.
Andrew, the seats. You're not allowed to drive near school zones with those seats, I think. I think there's some sort of law you're going to keep out of school zones. That's what I heard.
As long as you don't have lollies in the car at the same time, you're fine.
Might be just in Mandurah, because I think Alex was thinking about those red ones.
Oh my goodness.
Well, you can't get me. I'm sure.
Really red.
Amazing.
Jake.
Does that come with a dimmer knob? That seat?
Napa.
You can do partial. You know,
look at that.
That's a lot less cool.
Yeah, you should get those red ones, Pete. Match your shoes. Yeah. Swap those black seats, those red ones. Look at those puppies. Good.
Yeah.
The red and white reminds me of a Mustang, so that's all right.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Cool.
There you go.
There you go.
So tap tests. Actually, I mean, that's not cheap, but that's probably US.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it is US. Yeah.
So that's 8 million Australian.
Free shopping says free shopping on orders over $69.
In
Yeah.
red leather.
We have to ship to Australia.
I think that'll qualify.
On the lounge there.
It actually says vegan leather. Give me a break.
You mean vinyl?
Yes, that's what it is.
Ugh. What the hell is vegan leather?
It's not leather.
It's
I can't believe it's not leather.
It's plant based. It's made out of plants.
Oh.
A couple of Israelians and
Yeah, it's made out of
fern things and little bits and pieces. I think there's
rather than animals.
It's made out of cows that only eat green stuff.
Is it made out of those seal pup fur boots? Is that the same ones? Or not quite
Rather than organisms that have died, a few weeks ago, it's made out of stuff that's died, a few million years ago, or 100 million years ago.
Safe.
This is the interior that Simon's chosen, I think, Carmen, which is the cream with the wood grain Model S.
Yes, that's it.
That's the divorce package, Carmen. That one there. That's the I'm single driver coming in.
No, it's. I don't think so. No, they're cool. Those two. And
not once
blue
he gets
outside. It's
not once he gets
elegant.
that car, it won't be cool. That's definitely a sexy machine. That thing.
Yeah.
It is. It really is.
That's it. That's it. That's the one he's got.
That's the one he's got now.
No, he's ordered an S like that.
Oh, S, yeah, right.
Did he order it a little while ago?
Did you get for the price
No,
right?
just recently. So he's driving the 3 Performance until that arrives, and then I'll take it, and I'll sell mine.
And you can sell it for 110,000, like most people are selling their cars now.
Well, I guess I'll have to because mine cost 81,200.
Oh, you should get 105 for it at least.
Well, and the cool thing about it, Carmen, about Simon's new car he's going to get next year, is that we already know what it looks like from the underneath.
Yes.
Because it looks just like that.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
If we just back up a little bit, there it is. There's the flat battery pack. How awesome is that? And flat as a tack until it.
How close are those people? Like, have they got no brains in them?
No, they're morons.
They're definitely. It's definitely from Mandra. It's definitely.
But look at the way it tracks so straight. You know, it's perfectly safe.
Wow. Did anybody get hurt?
Yeah, two
No,
willy bins.
just a few willy bins.
Didn't make it through. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
It wasn't even their car. That's what's frustrating.
Yeah, the old renter.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There goes their $50 deposit.
He obviously rented it just to do that, and he's got all his mates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Surely the insurance would cover that. You have insurance against.
Did they catch him?
That's the SpaceX package that they're also implementing on the Roadster.
Nice work, nice work.
But see, it's idiots like that ruin all the premiums for everyone else, you know?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, it's just silly.
That's it, absolutely.
Nowadays.
I've got something to say today about an experience that I had today. So I had to take my ice car, my Hilux ice car, to have its complimentary 1,000k service.
Oh, yeah.
So I had to drive it at 7 o'clock in the morning to this Toyota dealership and then wait for some bimbo girl to come out and tell me how great it is and how great they're going to do a good job. And then I waited for an hour and 20 minutes for someone to come back and go, yeah, it's all done now. It's fantastic.
They complimented you on your hairstyle and cost you $1,000.
And they said your hair is great, by the way. And they said they just said, "Oh, are you aware of the new app? How good the app is?" And I was just like, "Here we go. We're pulling teeth again. You're going to talk about the great Toyota app, how great it is. Shows me where the petrol is. That's fantastic." And then I tried to explain to him about the Tesla car, and straight away, I mentioned this. I was dealing with an anti-vaxxer. Straight away, I was dealing with the anti-Tesla because he was like, "Oh yeah, those battery things are not quite right." And I was like, "Here we go. There we go. No worries, mate. No problems." Yeah. As you jump in his Monaro, V8 Monaro. Yeah, no worries. All good. So that was my little adventure today. I thought it was quite interesting. So that's the last ice car that I'll ever buy in my life. I promise you that right now. Because one thing I hate is doing service, because I have never ever had a dealership that can A, service a car properly, B, wash a car properly, C, show any intelligence towards the car whatsoever. The last car.
Did you get charged for water?
No,
with a sealed battery?
No, it's complimentary. Everything was complimentary today. It was we look at the car for 2 minutes and we charged Toyota $1,000.
Yeah.
And that's just to make sure they haven't left any bolts loose or screws left out or anything like that.
Yeah, so there's a wrap. And the one thing they did that I really hate, and I thought they would have known, but they were different people, but they put that stupid, I don't understand this, the stupid sticker on the car to tell me when the next service is. You'll send me 250 texts before then. You will send me 800 emails. There'll be 15 phone calls, and then you want me to look at the sticker, and the computer in the car will tell me it's due for a service. Like, seriously?
Sorry, Jared.
Jared,
strong feelings about this.
Jared, we've got an MG for my wife, the MG Electric ZS.
Yeah, I remember that.
And on the inside of the window, it's got the little sticker that says when your next service is due. And or as marketing happens, on the back side of the sticker, there's a nice Castrol symbol. There's no oil. There's no oil in the car.
I hate stickers. I hate stickers on cars, number one. I hate when people put stickers on cars. I hate it. And that just clinched it today. I was like, yeah.
But we no longer even have the stickers for when you're rego, your CTP, when that's due. And they're putting stickers on for your service.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Well, Jared, your next car will be this one, won't it?
The yellow. I've ordered the
The
yellow.
yellow
That's it.
one.
Yeah,
That
that's
yellow
it.
number.
That's the one. Except I don't want the pinstriping down the side.
Oh, right. Yes. Yes, of
Could you
course.
imagine if someone just said, have fun and drive it now? Oh, you would just drive straight over that. It'd be like driving through the harvest. It'd be so, I mean, that's bad, but it'd be fun. It's very,
As a counterpoint, I was going to say, as a counterpoint to your negative experience, I mean, someone hating on batteries. A couple of weeks ago down in Albany for Target Albany.
Oh, yeah.
I've been helping with the Tokeva team for a couple of years. This year, by far and away, the response and the conversations we had, we didn't stop talking to people all weekend. Even the racers, the die-hard petrol heads are saying, like, and these are the top end of the Target teams.
Oh, yeah.
They're saying their next car is a Tesla.
Yeah.
Or an
A lot of people are saying that.
It's amazing the change in the last 6 months to a year. Like, it's amazing.
There's still a strong crowd out there that were brought up on a two-stroke, and that will never leave that two-stroke or that V8 unleaded engine. Because you just as you mentioned Tesla or any electric car to them, and they just go, oh mate.
I think it's once it went past the $2 a litre thing.
Yeah,
I think people went, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah.
There's
a lot more questions being asked now. There's no doubt about that.
We used to have people complain, like, going off about bringing the charger down and setting up a generator. We actually had people saying, "Hey, can we hook into your power because our battery in the ice car is dead and I need to charge it between runs." So we had a Subaru charging off an extension cord with his battery charger between runs.
The first thing that most people say to me when they talk about batteries is, it'll be good once they're up to the standard of having to be able to charge anywhere. And you're like, what? They think that you drive with an extension lead from home. Well, they have no idea. And then you show them, you educate them and you show them, plug share, and you show them that you can do that. Oh, and they, okay. Oh, wow, I didn't know that. And then there's definitely so many people ill-informed out there. It's crazy.
But Jared, that's plainly rubbish, because you don't actually have to charge your car at all, because you can see from this car that was crashed that it brings its own batteries and you just swap them out, mate. Come on. It only takes 4 cells and you just swap them out and it's all good.
You just keep a full pack.
Get a self-charging hybrid. They're wonderful.
Don't ever go downhill.
I mean, you see the news of that Tesla jumping over in LA. But do you think that's the only car that's done that? The only vehicle that's ever done? It's only a Tesla. You're kidding, aren't you?
Well, it was a couple of years ago they did it with a Model X. So same street, same thing, but it didn't go worldwide because they didn't crash.
Yeah,
so it's stupid, like TikTokers. So it used to be YouTubers, now they're TikTokers. So
yeah, TikTokers up in Broome.
Yeah, because they posted afterwards, said, you can't catch us. I'm like, you just posted, so.
The frustrating thing is they're probably earning more than all of us combined.
Oh, shit,
that's right, exactly.
That's why it was like $1,000. Here's your $1,000.
Hey, I'll tell you a little story about someone. I changed from petrol to the Tesla. I'm very happy. A friend of mine used to race a Lotus Exige, and he's now got a performance Model 3, and he's just loving it. He was thinking an RS3 or this, and he got this, and I saw him today. He loves it, except he had a brake rotor in his garage, and he was doing something and dropped on the ground and smashed into the side of his car and put a dent in his bill. So he's a bit sad about that.
That's terrible.
So I said go to Bowers because I don't think it'd be pushed out. So
yeah. There was a guy a couple of weeks ago at the last rally sprint, and whenever we're down there, there's a few Tesla owners come and watch, and we notice them. But there was this Tesla just parked just in the field. Well, whose is that? And this guy was come up and talk to us, and he races just at some other race car. And we're like, oh yeah, there's other Teslas here. He's like, yeah, that's mine. So he drove his Tesla to the track. Someone else towed his race car. He got in the race car, drove the race car around, and then drove home in the Tesla.
Nice.
Yeah.
So cool.
Interesting. Question for Joe.
I've been trying to talk.
Oh, sorry. I wonder what the sandwiches are today.
I'm a bit late now because I'm really trying to butt in relation to Jared's service story.
Oh, yes.
I've got a similar one, like, well, with the Tesla though, but we got a phone call on Friday to say that we need to have a service on our car. There's something they need to do. And so we're like, oh, great, because Osborne Park is a very long way away for us. And he said, no, we'll come to your house. Just when would it suit you? And so I literally gave him a time, and they're coming to our house to do what they need to do. And it's all free as well, because it's just.
What is it they're doing?
Is that the warranty
looking it up,
So
right?
you didn't have to drive to a crappy dealership that call themselves something when they're not even that. That's amazing.
So I can read you from the app, 'cause it means nothing to me. It says reseal front upper control arm ball joints. And rework electrical harness due to water ingress R1.
That's
Was everyone else getting that?
If it was R2, they did that. Serious problems. Lucky it's R1, not R2.
R1.
Do you know what that is?
R2 is just like it's the. That's what's happening in Ukraine right now. R2.
You can't get away no choice.
That's what's. It's unbelievable.
So, Joe, do you know what that harness is? It's the wire. It's the wire that goes to your reversing camera.
It keeps going off. The reversing camera keeps going off.
Yeah, they need to replace the cable. It's a known fault.
Oh, good. So
the upper ball joint thing is where you get a squeaky noise when you turn the wheel.
We have that too. We just haven't reported any of those, and they've come to fix it anyway.
And that fire in the back seat, Joe, that's just the ashtray thing. That's okay. That's don't worry about that fire. It's okay. They'll replace that seat.
Cool. Great. And they said, is there anything else you want to do whilst we're there? So we're getting them to replace the air filter just because we're never going to get around to doing it ourselves.
Oh gosh, I need an excuse.
I was like, well, you're going to be here. You might as well do that as well. So obviously we've got to pay for that. But
somebody give it a wash.
I've actually washed it and polished it ready for them. So I can't give them a dirty Tesla.
It's easy to wash.
Yeah, I do it weekly anyway. So I just.
Oh wow! Do you want me to bring my car around?
Oh, can you do mine?
Actually, can we all go to Joe's house and get it washed?
Oh, I've seen your car. I don't think she's got the time for that.
Yes, there you go.
So
Ben,
a lot
the
easier.
mechanic, Ben, the mechanic that'll come to do it is a Porsche man, or it was.
Is it? I don't know.
Yeah,
it's difficult just to come to whenever. I mean, they're only coming to our house because I work from home, so they come to your work. They'll come to wherever you are at that time.
They're coming to my place next week.
I used to have a Toyota. I used to have a Toyota Sahara, and the first complimentary service, they came to my warehouse at the time, and this lady came out and serviced it. I said, I don't want any stickers on the car, and I also want you to take off the automatic door lock. And then she wanted to dictate to me and tell me that I had to have the sticker to remind me to get the car serviced, which is very important, and also had to keep the door lock on as a safety feature. Like, you don't want people telling you these things. I tell you, it's crazy. So that's my what a feeling ad. Done. It's gone quiet.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to find a.
Holy shit, we could get away.
Difficult. It took me ages to try and get to say something, and then there's all this silence now.
Joe, with the sandwiches, are we starting, are we starting to put in cheesels or little packets? Those little packets. So you get them in 15.
They're not healthy. He only has his healthy chips.
Got to have one or two little things. You know? just sneak a little. I'm working on it.
Start down the dark path.
Yes. Down the dark path.
Damo reported in, and he said that Ben had just come to look at his aircon, because you know how some of the Model 3s, you don't get air to your face. It doesn't go any higher than sort of like a low level, and you can't adjust its position very well. He basically said that there's a bit of plastic that seals in the airflow and deflects the air. He thinks it's a bit deformed and not sealing the air in properly. He played around with it, trying to get it to seal better, and it definitely made a difference. Pretty sure he's on the right track. He is ordering another one to fit. He said, bloody nice bloke, really happy with the outcome. So yeah, so that's Ben from service as a ranger.
That's lovely.
He's going to have to be sacked because that's not the sort of information that I want to hear.
What?
No,
Ben's
it's
an
great.
awesome guy.
Ben's great.
really
He
good.
really is. He's a hell of a nice bloke. Even though he used to work
I
on
love him.
Porsches.
I love Ben. I don't even know who he is, but I feel like I love him already.
He's a good young kid.
I don't know him, but I tell you, when I see him, I'm going to hug him and give him a big kiss. And say, I don't know who you are.
He'd
but
appreciate that.
I think he probably would.
I was going to say you needed a performance model like a year before, and then you would have seen him a lot, like I have. So.
What did you see?
Lemon Street.
What did you have to see him for, Paul?
What's the issue?
I had oh hell, what have I done? The back rear door when I first got it was scraping on the rocker panel, so they'd adjusted that. The rear defroster had cracked, and that rear windscreen got replaced.
Wow.
And they, corked it, and then it sort of oozed out. So he came to my place and fixed all that sort of stuff. What else have they done? They've done the filters. They've done both rotors at the front. They've, sanded them back, if you want to call it, because there was a noise with the first lot of performance ones.
Oh.
They've done the ball joints, with that recall thing.
Is yours lemon coloured?
No, it's all free.
Richard Cooper.
I really don't care. It's an awesome car, and I love it.
What you're trying to say is,
I wouldn't even sell it for like 50 grand more or anything. I'm keeping my.
Oh, yes, you would.
Whoa.
Whoa.
We're talking, Paul.
As long as you could replace it soon.
Paul, everything is for sale. Trust me.
No.
Everything you own is for sale, just at the right price.
I won't say that.
I will sell my Model X for $130,000 today.
You would get it,
I'll sell my Lego set.
Not one that's done 207,000 Ks, although it's historic.
You'd probably still get it, Al.
You never know.
You'd still get it.
But no, I don't want to sell my performance. I'm going to keep it, even when I get my Cybertruck. So.
Actually, what you should do, and this is...
The following segment is general in nature and shouldn't be taken...
Anyway, just go and buy Tesla. Just sell your performance car, buy Tesla shares with the proceeds, and then you can buy 3 Cybertrucks.
I've got enough Tesla shares.
And look, I think you need a different colour Cybertruck. I think you need stainless steel on Monday. You need stainless steel on Tuesday. Then on Wednesday, stainless steel.
Old stainless steel for Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And a
I
lemon
got
coloured
them.
one.
I got my shares when they were $39, so I'm good.
Wow.
Very
Yes.
good. Good job.
Yeah, so
Good job.
Wow.
yeah. So I'm just hanging out. Probably 2025 will be the first tranche I'll sell, and then 2030 after that.
5 more years,
Huh?
Paul. Wait till
Huh?
2030. 5 more years.
Yes.
Oh, no, I plan to retire in 2025.
It should be 2026, 2027, because I reckon there could be a big market crash around then.
Oh yeah, no, it's not sell all of them in one hit. It's like
No.
tranches. As each,
Just go and take a 5% margin loan.
I've thought about it. I think Leonie would kill me though. So
5% tax free. That is not tax advice, but actually it is, because I know
It is.
for a fact it's actually tax free, because it's not actually income if it's only a margin loan. But that's risky financial advice, so don't listen.
Yeah. No.
Even if you
But do it
even if
anyway.
you sell the
Chuckleheads.
shares, it's not capital gain. So, okay.
No, yeah,
'Cause
you got your capital gains, but
No, you're not actually selling it. If you don't sell it, if you just get a margin loan against it, then it's not a sale. It's only it's totally different. But don't do it.
I'm not going to do that. No. But if anyone wants to buy an investment property, I'm selling one on Saturday. So
Actually, I need to sell one too. So anyway, we could have a double auction.
Huh? No, I'm selling it myself. I want to save that
Oh,
$20,000, mate.
right. Have I got a deal for
I'm
you?
all
I'll
about
give
the
you.
money, man.
I'll give you $100,000 less than you want to sell it for.
And so it doesn't work with me.
And and Carmen will promise to sell it to you for 300 grand more than you expect.
Yeah.
And then when someone gives you an offer that's 100 grand below what you wanted, she'll convince you that's a good idea.
Yeah. No, the last
No,
investment
no.
property I sold, they told us 30 grand less than what I actually sold it for. So
that's good.
Yeah, so I do know what I'm doing, sort of stuff. It's really easy nowadays as well.
What's that?
You know, you can do it. Selling property.
Oh,
Sorry, that's not Tesla stuff. Sorry. We'll talk about
That's all right.
I've sold all of our properties. I've sold them all myself too.
See, there you go.
But I still got a agent to do the paperwork. But
you need a settlement agent anyway to do. That's like $1,200. That's nothing. And then claim
A
tax
settlement
anyway.
agent, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I got a real estate agent to help with the offer and acceptance as well, just to make sure that was all.
No,
legal.
that's easy. You get all that paperwork online nowadays.
Oh no,
Well,
I know.
when
But
you sell, it's okay. When you're buying, you might need.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a complex deal. So the last.
With the Russian mafia or something.
is this selling cars in Ukraine? What are you talking about?
No, Pete's one was complex because it was attached to Wimbledon because that was one of the proceeds of one of the games that he won.
Oh, I thought he got paid in balls. Did he get paid in balls? Was it like tennis balls? Like, yeah.
Gold nuggets, probably.
Have you kept a few of the balls, Pete? A few of your autograph balls?
No. Still got a couple of Aussie Open t-shirts.
Oh, cool.
Somewhere in the shed, but yeah. Actually, I still got my sneakers. So Paul Kildare, he was sponsored by who was it? It was Diodora, one of those. And so for Wimbledon, they would make specific soles with little studs on them. So yeah, everyone else, we used to just play in Dunlop volleys on grass courts, but Paul Kildare had the same size shoe as me. So he gave me a few of his shoes, and yeah, bloody brilliant. So still got a couple.
Cool.
So you walked a mile in your shoes.
I did.
Fantastic. That's why you are ranked 897th, because that's what it takes.
It would have been 896 if you had a shave. It would have been. Got rid of that Bear Grylls look. I can just whittle a tennis racket out of this lump of wood. That's what it would have been.
Look, there was a time when he did not have the Bear Grylls look. Does that
I would love to know where you got that from, Harold. You need to tell me. Come on.
What are the two kids saying?
it's on the interwebs, Pete.
One kid's saying the other kid. I think it's a bit heavy.
If let's just say if you Google your name and then add the word tennis, you'll find it instantly under photos.
My God, I've never.
You never Googled yourself? Hey, have you never Googled yourself?
I have, but I've never thought about putting tennis behind my name.
Oh, that's what you got to do. I Googled Richard Cooper the other day just after he gave me a virus.
I was just going to look me up. I've never.
And I just put Richard Cooper teeth, and it came with this big glossy thing.
Oh, gold.
Hi, Jackie.
So-
how are you? Good to see you.
How's everyone? Sorry, I came late today.
That's okay.
Very good. We've actually got some news for you, Jackie, and everyone else here.
Yeah?
We're going to the drive-ins because although it's not Saturday night and you don't really care what movie you see, this is going to be Tuesday night. So I think Jared might know a bit about this, but
I suppose I should have said something.
yes,
I'm on
and
the
Paul
committee
as well. So so
I'm
Jared
naughty.
Jared and Paul.
Yeah, well, you go first, Paul, because I don't like to share the limelight.
No.
Jesus. The movie's about a dog who's lost or something. Is that right, Paul? I can't remember.
No,
And the
no.
popcorn's
Sorry,
really
let
good.
Harold do it. I was just
You're selling it. You're selling it.
yeah.
It's a great night out, the dog. They start the movie about half an hour of daylight, so you don't see the first part of the movie. That keeps it more mystery because you can hear what's going on, but you don't understand a word they're doing until it gets darker, and then you see the movie. And then, the movie's normally that gripping. I was parking near actually Richard Cooper at the time, and his car just fogged up, and I knew that was an indication for me to go and see Harold. And of course, Harold was sleeping in the back of his car. So yeah, that was a big night out. What was it called? That movie?
You watched Bond. Didn't you guys watch Bond?
Yeah, and it was really fun because all the cars their lights would come on because no one put their car in the camp mode. So every half an hour, you just see a random car turn its lights on and off.
Because there we go.
Yeah, there you go. That's the night. There you go.
Burnt orange.
There's that burnt orange car next to me. There you go. Look at that. Look at that good-looking bloke. Jesus Christ. Jeez. I've lost a bit of weight since then. I've started up tennis. So, I've started to trim up a little bit, getting ready for the finals. Wimbledon's coming around any moment now. So, I have to get your new photo. Harold, you bastard.
Oh, gee.
Hey, it's good to laugh.
It is.
So, what were you going to say, Paul, about the drive-ins?
So it's Chatham Tatum. He's an ex-soldier or something, and he's going to a funeral or something, and I think it gets the dog to help or some crap. I don't know, but I think it
What's
should be good.
called? What's it
Dog.
called?
Dog.
Oh, it's not
very
Red Dog.
complicated.
It's called dog.
I think it's just called dog.
And
But it's at the drive-ins. There's only one drive-in in Perth. So.
There's only one
Where
drive-in.
is it?
Next Tuesday, isn't it?
Is it next Tuesday?
29th. I'm sure. Was that when we were doing it? Oh, geez. I'm really good at this, aren't I? Yeah, it is. Next Tuesday, the 29th.
Next Tuesday.
So it's 6:15 or something, I think. Something like that.
And make sure Pete Petroschi's there early guiding the cars.
We'll send an email earlier.
Because there was a lot of cars there last time. It was a big night out for a lot of people. I know some panel betters that did very well after that night. There's a few minor accidents.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, pro tip, don't turn too early when you're leaving.
Yeah. Pro tip,
Because
that steel bar doesn't move.
No.
Won't jump out of the way.
No.
So,
especially like red cars, apparently.
That was a bit ordinary.
Yeah, it's a great
Jared,
knockout.
I've sorted you out, mate. You're trimming terrific. There you go.
Much better. Look at that. That has changed my life. That's the man shake for you. That's good, that stuff. I've never had it, but I know people that have and end up like that. Great.
You're doing well, brother.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I'm
Anytime.
feeling well.
So, so movies, Tuesday.
Sorry, you go. Yep.
And the good thing is, I was just going to say, in these COVID times, it's great because, we're all in our own cars and whatever. So that's something else that you can do in these times.
But we go to the cafe shop to get the popcorn, Harold, and the hot dog.
And the Chico rolls.
And the Chico rolls. So there's a good chance of getting some food poisoning like last time.
I'll make sure that the only Corona I bring is in bottles like this.
Yeah. Brown bag bags.
Well, Corona means crown.
So, Carmen, are you going to be there, Carmen?
I haven't thought about it.
You've been missing a lot of events lately, and I can't keep taking that cardboard cutout of you out.
I've had a few issues.
Okay.
What's his name?
Yeah.
No.
You've
got issues, get tissues.
No, none of those. But it's a lot happening at the moment.
You talking about the re-roofing of your house with Harold?
Well,
Look, Carmen and I have had a falling out, and I haven't been to our house often enough, and there's a few maintenance jobs that are piling up. So
there is. I fell into the pit.
You fell into the pool, Carmen, but the pool's above ground, like it's 1.5 meters above the ground. What were you doing above the ground?
No, it's actually 1.7 meters deep, but it wasn't the pool; it was the pit.
Oh, the little thingy. Yep. The lower part.
And
You just
that
get
is
some
not
guys
good.
around to fix that, Carmen. You can just, you've got Harold's credit card, just feel free to just rack it up and get some
No,
balls over.
no. Yeah, the credit card went for ultrasounds, X-rays, MRIs, all that sort of stuff.
Get lots of points on that one, or
Yeah, it wasn't good.
okay.
That's no good.
That is
No.
nice.
That's no good. Hmm.
Richard Cooper, will you be there next Tuesday? You're a bit of a driving man.
I might be. My wife's away. We'll see. Just put it online so I know what's happening.
It'll be on the line. Paul, put it on the line.
Where is the place?
Put it on the close line. Put it on the line, Paul.
It's at the Galaxy Drive-In, which is Perth's only drive-in. It's in Kingsley.
Yeah.
Just south of Hepburn
Geraldton.
Avenue.
Just right near Geraldton, just before Geraldton.
It's just south of Hepburn Ave.
Miles away.
So, Joe,
not really. It's all relative.
It's
Joe,
just
if you
south of
leave at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon,
It's just south of
you get there
Whitford's
by
Avenue.
about 6 from where you are.
Yeah,
south of
we
Whitford.
did go to the first one. It is a very long way for us.
Which one did you go? Did you go to the
There you go.
You weren't even on the calls at that time. It was before you arrived.
Before, that's right, the first one.
The very first drive-in, yeah.
Sorry, where is it?
Scroll.
Between
But it's over an hour for us to get there and then back again.
east of the
On a
freeway
school
under
night.
Whitford's Avenue.
It was
Near Wanneroo Road.
Just
What's
search
the-
for it and it'll come up. It comes up.
There you go.
Yeah, just search for
Navigate
Galaxy
to
Drive-In.
Kingsley.
You would think it'd be there.
It's called Galaxy Drive-In, isn't it, on Google Maps?
It is.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I was too far. I wasn't north enough. It was Whitford's. Yes, sorry. Yes, apologies. There it is, right there. Sorry, it's just south of Whitford's Ave. It's north of Hepburn Ave.
It's not far.
Okay.
It's not that far.
It depends where you live.
Oh yeah, sorry, Joe.
Well,
For
you
you
got a
guys,
Tesla.
it's a mile away. It's
I
it's
suppose at
miles
the end
away.
of a
If
movie.
you part South Albany, then it's just a
For,
little bit further.
for you, Joe, it's probably about 100 autopilot nags away from your place, at least.
And we'd have to charge on the way back as well.
Oh wow.
Oh, do you? What, for a return trip? No, you wouldn't have to do
Probably not. I'm just joking.
No, you'd be right.
But any excuse to go to Karen up because we've still got free supercharger credits.
Yeah.
Indeed. Or you could go to Margaret River once they finish it, which the sad news is they...
Quite on the way.
Can I donate some
Jared, you'd like that?
kilometers? Can I donate some charging? Who would like some?
Yeah, it's great. I'd like some free
$7.
charging.
Oh, you can't do it, Carmen. No, unfortunately, you can't because it's tied to your car. It's not tied to your test. You can't donate it. Show that thing again, Paul. What were you showing?
I was showing my charging because we're talking about I've been doing my shopping now. At
He lives at Karen Up. This is part.
Yeah.
Of
I've got like
I've
he
been
runs
charged
his
like
office from $7. Yeah.
He drives his car there in the morning and parks up all day.
No, it doesn't take long. That's the problem. I had to run through to do a food shop. Yeah, I've still got 3,000.
Well, were the green ones full, Paul? The other ones?
When do they expire?
Yeah.
They were full.
June next year.
Just put more of those on.
Yeah.
Just two's not enough. They need to put like 4.
So
Is that all? I've got till 2025 on mine. I don't know.
So how many kilowatt hours did you use, Paul?
Still not as much as you, buddy. How much have I got?
So, Lance,
Because
you don't get
I
any
work
here,
from
do you?
home. That's the problem at the moment.
No, it's
304. 304.
So I did 262 in one day.
Don't worry, Lance.
Nice.
I got nothing left. I only had it for like a couple of months.
Bloody hell.
You know, they only had one
Yeah, if it's
supercharger
gonna-
when I first got it. And it's a sad
It's gonna
story. And
Focus
Oh,
on
you got
this, but-
blur on, so it'll blur your thing.
Yeah.
That's the problem with Zoom. You have to
Yeah.
take it off blur, and then you can focus on it.
I wish I had unlimited charging. It'd be great.
Yep.
Yeah, but Jared, for you, how many Ks have you done in your wife's car?
Including the shopping and the in the picking up the flowers, and the macrame class that I went to the other day.
In your yoga class, you forgot about that.
yoga class. Oh, I like to do the downward dog. That's one of my favourite yoga moves. I'm a big downward dog fan.
Just
we're up
imagine
to-
you,
So-
Darren,
Sorry?
doing a downward dog.
I'm the down.
How many
When I
Ks?
say downward dog, I mean dagwood dog, like at the Royal Show, they dip it in the tomato sauce. Pull it out, that dagwood dog, not the downward. I'm up to 5. Oh, where am I? There I am. Can you
Don't
see
show
that?
your VIN. No, don't show us your VIN. How many Ks?
Oh, 5,344.
Right. So you would have to get to another 190,000 Ks
Yep.
before you actually had a supercharger that was available for you to use if you had free unlimited lifetime supercharging. So you got a few more Ks to catch up, mate, before it made a difference.
I know it's pretty. Got a fair bit more to do.
Yeah, I've done 54,000.
Well, that's all right. That's pretty good.
54,000.
45,000.
You'd still get.
And yours is a
150,000.
performance. Yours is performance, Paul.
Yep.
So it's probably still worth $100,000 according to car sales.
More than that, because
Probably.
half of it's been replaced.
There you go. Even better.
See, it's almost a new car.
Exactly. Time to buy a Model S Plaid.
Actually, it's
So
new
where
tyres
does
on
it
the car
show the
now.
kilometers that you
On
have?
your,
On the
on your
app,
app.
At the
Carmen.
bottom
On
of
your
your
app.
app, Carmen.
Yeah, scroll right to the
Sorry.
bottom, Carmen. Go to
No,
the.
but view details.
Are you
No,
talking
no,
about- are you
very
talking
bottom.
about-
No,
Are you talking about
don't
how
go
many
onto that.
supercharger credits you got left? Is that what you're
Yep.
talking about?
Oh, that's
Yeah,
a
click-
loot box.
Click the little man, like the little
Woman.
icon on the top right,
Just
and
open
then
the
loot,
door.
and then loot box.
Can you see that?
No.
Have you got your top right hand side? There's a picture of you or
Oh yes, I got that.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Click
it
there,
says, yeah.
and then
loot
then
box.
loot box. Yeah.
Yep. 4,069, but it expires on the 10th of June 22.
Oh,
So
geez,
go
get
down-
on with it.
Renew.
Go down
I
to
think
Margaret
they've
River.
got it. Yeah.
Go down to Margaret River or even further south and just charge up at Margaret River once that's working again, and Bunbury at Eton, and just use it up, or
Exactly.
get swap cars with Simon. That if he wants to do trips, take your car instead of his car, because his car doesn't have free supercharging,
Yeah.
whereas your car does. So
Yeah, but
get
the
him.
trouble is they need a 7-seater Volvo for the kids.
Oh, just put
And-
one in the boot. Put one in the boot. That'd be fine.
To go to work, he
Six in the car, one in
drives,
the boot.
You got the
he
Frank
drives
as well.
20 kilometers a day to
Yeah.
work and back.
Put one of the kids on a
Either
bus. So
But how many kids? How many kids they got? A couple of kids? 2 kids?
Three.
2.3
Three.
kids.
3 kids.
Well, that's 3 on the back, but they got baby seat. Any booster
No.
seat or anything? Oh
No,
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 it's all
they're
old
all
enough.
big kids.
Yeah, cool. So they can still do
Three
a
in the back
family.
all the time.
Yeah, they can still do a
I've got the
family trip.
solution.
Yeah.
I've got the
Go,
solution.
go, Richard.
Many years ago, I bought a Lotus Esprit. I put it out in Sunday Times, and the guy said, 2-seater, and he said, it's a great family car. I said, what do you mean? He said, you have to leave the kids at home.
It's the kind of comedy you have when you're not having a colour television.
But seriously, Carmen, like maybe Simon
Yes.
might want to go for a slightly longer drive with the family and try, even just to try it out. If he took your car, it would be effectively free because you won't use 4,000 Ks of charging.
I've never charged outside the house.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
Oh, man.
well, then in that case, why don't you actually just not charge at home and then just
Go to the
once a
car.
week have coffee at Karrinyup?
Yes.
And in the time it takes for you to have your coffee and a little look around or whatever, your car will be
just coffee.
recharged, no problem.
Your coffee, you won't have time.
I'll
Carmen,
give
if
it
you
a
go
No,
try.
there's no time.
Carmen, if you go
And
to
set
the
a time and set a timer.
Because it won't beat you.
Carmen,
When
if
you
you go
plugged
to
it
the
in, you set a timer, and
movie.
then that way.
Well, sorry, Jared, hang on
connectivity's
2
really
seconds.
crap.
So say
I was-
again, Paul. Sorry, go, Paul.
I was just saying, with Karrinyup, when you plug in, it'll say how much time you've got left. Set a timer on your phone because there's crap connectivity there, and then that way you won't get
Yes.
charged your idle fees for being
Yeah.
stuck
Okay.
there. Because
That's
I do that
exactly
all
right.
the time.
Hmm.
Sorry.
Well, I
Yeah.
have a home open in Scarborough, so it's not far.
Oh, cool.
On
Do some donuts
Tuesday-
in the car park.
On Tuesday after the movies come, and we could take you to Karrinyup because it's open till late, and we can show you how to use or can show you the supercharger.
So Carmen, you know how when you're at home you plug it in, right?
Yeah.
It's the same as
Same
at
thing.
Karrinyup.
Okay.
Except it doesn't
Right.
take long. It's quick.
Plug it in and walk away.
Yep.
And what you should do is just navigate to the pin. So you'll see the red pin on your map. Just hit navigate, or just press on the pin, and it'll navigate to it, and it'll tell you which entrance to go into. And
I've seen it. It's next to the valet parking.
Exactly, precisely right. That's exactly right. So you could just do that a few times, Carmen, just to consume some of those free supercharger kilometres, or just say to Simon, feel free to use my car for a bit of an extended trip. Because they're pretty much equivalent, even though his is slightly newer, well, a lot newer, but there's not really that much difference between the two cars. The comfort's the same.
He thought the regen braking was better.
On his,
Yes.
Yeah, right.
it might. That's possible. I'm not sure if all the Model 3s have the switch reluctance DC motor on the front or rear, but it's possible. Or it might be a setting on the modern cars that does it a bit harder or more aggressively, possibly. Is he used to it yet? Oh, I guess he is.
Software. Have you noticed on the new software they seem to slow down nicer at the traffic
Yeah.
lights? on it?
Yeah, it's a lot better. Yeah. I noticed that.
I was reading today that Tesla is talking about bringing FSD to Europe in sometime this year, in about 2 or 3 months.
Going to Canada in a couple of days, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, if he gets to Europe this year, I like to think we'd get it this year.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah, I don't think. No.
Which country do we live in?
If it comes to Europe, it'll come to Australia in another 5 years.
But Europe's been behind us when it comes to a lot of the FSD stuff.
That's why I didn't
Their
buy
cars can't do
FSD.
half the stuff our cars can.
That's true.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah,
That's why.
I like to know a dreamer with a positive attitude, and you're it.
Yeah.
And I've paid.
You know what, Richard? We might be dreamers, but we're not the only ones.
We're quoting.
Yeah, I bought every time I got tempted to buy FSD, I just bought more Tesla shares.
So I did the opposite. I sold a few.
Oh my God.
It's all right.
Yes, that was very expensive of you, Richard, to sell them.
Wow.
No, I probably sold them where they are now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, that's fair enough then. That's okay.
It was 10 shares or something. I mean, who cares?
Yeah.
But as Pete wisely says, by 2030 they'll be $20,000. Not that that's financial advice.
Yeah.
No.
But and that's the other thing too, Pete. Was it how many months was it from Elon writing up a secret master plan to him getting a new executive share plan or performance plan? Is it 18 months, or is it? I think it was quite a while though. I think Robbie Maurer was saying it wasn't sort of weeks or just a couple of months. It was some extended time.
Right. Okay. I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember hearing that, but and I wouldn't know off the top of my head, to be honest. But yeah, that's. I was.
Russell would know. If Russell was here now, Pete, he'd know. He'd quote you.
He would.
He would be quoting you.
What's? Hey, Uber. Over 1,000 trillion, back to $1 trillion company. Nice. Nice.
It's the little things
Nice.
in this organisation that get these boys excited.
Oh, I love money.
It's not that little. I'll give you a giant tip. That's a great number. $1,000. That's great.
That's better.
Look better when
Christine,
it's had a 2 in front next to it.
Christine, what's your dog's name?
It's TT. TT for the Tesla.
Oh.
DT for Tesla.
Yes.
Where's your dog, Richard? That little.
He's being quiet. I don't know where he is. He's behaving himself.
Oh, there she goes.
There you go.
Cool. So getting back to dogs,
there you go.
we are going to the dog movie.
Yeah. What a segue, dog.
Yes.
See, there you go. It even
It'll
gives
be
a little blurb.
It'll be
There you go.
a barking good night with a chain.
There's possibly even a trailer which I possibly might not play because it'll probably get pinged again.
Oh, you'll
on,
get pinged. Yeah,
and
don't do it.
People probably
Don't
fall
do it.
asleep.
Are you doing to get
Yes.
demonetized?
Yeah,
Don't want to
do
get
that.
demonetized again because that means we'll get nothing again, like every other
Nothing with
week.
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing got from nothing is worth nothing.
Yep.
So Lance, you
Whatever.
must be getting excited about your car.
Yeah, a little bit. It's taken far too long.
So how many accessories?
Really? How long
It'll
have
be
you
14
waited?
weeks, so it's not that bad.
Oh my
14,
God.
14,
3.5 years.
187 weeks mine was.
187 weeks.
I don't know
1,290
how many
days.
weeks.
1,290 days.
I was
They told me 8 to
1399.
12, so
I'd be-
14 is just shit house.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Weeks. Times 3.
Yeah, no, I'm hanging out. I've bought all the accessories, more than I need.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry, you'll get more.
I watched all the YouTube videos, and so this is
No,
my
you
last
haven't.
resort.
Oh, yeah.
There's always more.
There's never
There's
enough.
always more. There's always
You know
more
you're you know
YouTube.
you know you're keen when you're making YouTube videos.
That's when it goes bad.
Yeah.
Well, I know you haven't watched all of Tokwa's ones because you'd be catatonic if you did. So
You could play it at double speed, so
you could. That's the
what they do at
fastest.
That's what they do at Guantanamo Bay. They play it at double speed.
No. They play it at,
No, they-
at point 0.25 speed
Yeah,
and
that's what
it
I
can
was
take all day.
They're not waterboarding anymore because of it. It's getting better results playing that stuff.
I found out that on the 13th of May, it'll be 420 days plus 69 days from when I ordered my Model X last year.
You've got a
And that's
problem.
Friday. That's Friday, the 13th of May.
Really?
Oh,
So how lucky is that? It is literally, that is 420 plus 69 days from the 9th of January 2021.
Oh,
It's unbelievable, Harold. As you know
That's
that.
very sad, Harold.
But I won't have gotten my car yet. So speaking of which, anyone that hopes to get a Model Y this year, I'm calling it that it's not going to happen.
Oh,
really?
Yep, I'll second it. No chance it's going to happen this year.
There's no
reckon
chance.
Not this
Yeah.
year.
I reckon 10 cars delivered
Not this year.
before
No.
the end of the year.
$100 a car, Paul.
I'll just gotta be
$100 for
positive.
every car that gets delivered.
Go,
What
Pete.
do you think will come first, Model Y or refreshed S and X?
Model Y.
Model Y.
Model Y, easy, man.
For sure.
I don't know.
You're recording Model Y.
Are they making any right-hand drive?
No, I don't think the Model
Jeez,
Y.
Pete, I can't answer that because I reckon it's 50-50
Yeah, I reckon so too.
because I think it's literally 50-50.
They made any right-hand drives yet?
Yeah.
What
in
model?
UK and Hong
S
Kong.
and X's?
Yeah.
Hong Kong.
Yeah. It's just because of the Berlin factory. As soon as that ramps up, then they'll just move
No, not the
you know,
Y.
a couple
yes.
of thousand.
Have they made
Yeah.
S and X's in right-hand drive?
Maybe a while.
is that Berlin factory
No
the
right-hand drive
Mercedes-Benz?
X's and S's yet.
Yeah.
No, it's not Mercedes-Benz. It's Tesla, Dummin.
Well, no,
They're
but
making-
there's talk of Elon buying Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah, I can't see that.
No,
happening.
that won't happen.
Why?
Probably more chance of him buying Prada
They
handbags.
don't give them anything. They don't need to.
No, why would they do that?
They don't because their factories now are like purpose built. Like goes in one end, like materials go in one end, and then the cars come out the other end. All the other old factories, they're all higgledy-piggledy sort of stuff. So it's not about
They,
efficiency and stuff like that.
outsource stuff as well. So.
Yeah, where Tesla does everything in-house.
And they don't
Most
have
stuff
tents
in-house.
or anything.
Pardon?
Well, it
They
makes the
don't-
seats in-house. Makes everything.
Mercedes don't even make their cars in tents, so you know.
Yeah, exactly.
No, he's not buying Mercedes-Benz coming.
Well, you look at
Yeah.
look at their factory in Fremont.
Why would you?
At,
Why would
at
you
the
do that?
at the height of the Fremont one, it was 300,000 cars that Toyota did, and Tesla's now doing like 450,000.
Exactly.
So you know, it's that
Yeah,
sort of
but,
thing.
but he gets another factory and they
Doesn't
would
need it.
be.
Don't need
It's
it.
not, it doesn't need it. It's not his style
need it.
anyway.
He just builds
It's
another
not
one.
set up. He'll build what he wants for his cars. He doesn't need to.
With Brandenburg, that's the first stage.
That's
and then they've got 3 other stages to ramp that up to like, it will be between 1 million and 2 million cars.
Yeah.
And then you've got the Texas factory coming online, and that's going to be the same. And then there's another one in Shanghai coming online, and then you'll get another one in Europe as well. Definitely not Ukraine.
Oh, it could be
So-
Ukraine because they're clearing a bit of land. They're clearing a bit of land in Ukraine at the moment to put in a new factory.
Yeah, there won't be. It might actually be England in the end.
Have you
As
seen
far
how
away
big
as possible.
Texas Gigafactory is? It's 1.2 kilometers long by 400 meters wide.
Imagine
That's
if
1.6.
and there's only one toilet block that's at the other end.
And, it's,
Imagine that.
and is it got 3 levels or 2?
You've got to walk all
It varies. It varies.
Yeah,
Some are like just a single level, the whole height. Others are 2. Others are 3. I'm not sure if there's any 4s, if it's office space or something like that. The thing I was talking about before about the Model Y is if you look at the delivery time frame now, if you ordered a Model 3 in Australia, it's 6 to 9 months, which and only a couple of weeks ago that was 5 to 7 months, and now it's 6 to 9. And if you go to all the other Tesla sites for Model 3, because we haven't got Model Y to compare with, they're all a similar time frame. Even in China, they're talking about, I think it was 20 to 24 weeks, which is the best part of 6 months in China, and that's local production. So that's
They should make more of them.
yes, that sounds like shit. What's this? Mitsubishi Pajero's assembly plant? Yeah,
Didn't it used to make toilet paper tissues?
Yeah, that's called a Mitsubishi.
That's all they produced, wasn't it?
Yeah, Mitsubishi.
It was a methane based car.
Well,
running.
Carmen, what is a pajero in Spanish?
Pajero.
A girl that doesn't shave her armpits.
No,
We
it's
say
no.
pajero. It's a man who looks after birds.
Oh,
Yes,
man who looks after birds.
in so to speak. That's right.
This country we call them.
Yeah, settle.
So,
I didn't say anything.
We're still running. Yeah, we knew.
I didn't say anything.
You were gonna. We know.
I was gonna say something, but I didn't.
Yeah,
So-
you would.
I censored myself.
So that's where a hat tip to all those people doing name picking. You've got to check all the languages and versions of various interesting names.
There's a
Yeah,
very
so-
interesting one, which I won't repeat. But you should check the meaning.
That was quite quick, Andrew. That was very good.
Didn't think it'd be good to show on a long, long time.
That was very good. Just quick enough.
What happened, Andrew? What did you do?
Hey, Harold, what's
Just
the
to Jared, I'll show it again.
Sorry.
So again, like,
No, we're going to see this again.
Oh,
okay.
That's good. Good work.
Go,
Andrew.
lads.
Yeah, go, lad.
What's the story with spare parts? I see a lot of people saying that it's taking a long time for spare parting, but we've got all this production capacity growing. Is there a
It's component, son.
it's
all
it's worldwide. It's a worldwide issue. And now, for instance, and this is an issue for us in Perth with Teslas, not Tesla's spare parts, although that is also an issue. Is that the tritium charger at Coburn has been down for I think 6 weeks, and it's actually lacking it's for want of a spare part that just isn't available at the moment. So it's a worldwide phenomena, and Tesla's suffering it. I guess it's the freight logistics. The sea containers. There's a worldwide shortage of sea containers. The actual boxes, believe it or not. So there's not enough boxes.
The price of a sea container out of China used to be around about $4,000. It's currently sitting at $27,000 for that same container. So 4,000 to 27,000 is what you're paying now.
Yeah.
So Darren Arndt, who's he raced his car at Targa West last year, decided to go a little too close to a curb, had enough. He's car took over 100 and something days to get the parts. It would have been quicker for him to buy another car,
Yeah.
get that delivered, than it would have been to get the spare parts.
Wow.
So they're all raping. The freight companies are raping everyone at the moment.
Yeah.
And then the freight companies can't deliver because they lack on staff, because a lot of staff are off because of COVID. And then, of course, all the stuff that happened with the floods in Adelaide, and then getting the rail across and getting trucks across. It's just everything's delayed.
I got to admit, I mean, I buy a lot of stuff online, and 3
Yes.
to 12 month wait is just not uncommon nowadays, depending on what you're getting.
Yeah, little
So-
stuff like little airbag stuff that they're still coming in, because there's now there's now 36 flights or something coming into Perth from Sydney compared to a couple of weeks
Night
ago.
all.
3. See you, Paul.
Hi, Paul.
Have a
Have a
good
good
day,
night.
Paul.
I was getting stuff out of, well, I do continue to get stuff out of China. They're little items, but there's lots of them, and they're in boxes, and they've actually had weight limits. So in China, it's set freight weight limits, and I think it was 400 kilos maximum per customer per day from any location. So you got all this logistics sort of issues that's
the problem.
making the costs go through the roof, and it's just it's not just cost, it's availability.
So that would suggest
It's
all
a-
manufacturers are experiencing the same pain with spare parts at the moment?
Well, they manufacturers, a lot of them laid off their staff when COVID kicked in, so they burnt up all the stock they had. So there's no stock left, and then they laid off all their staff, and their staff got jobs elsewhere doing other jobs, and then they had to get people back in to start building stuff again, and they're just playing catch up, and they'll be doing that for at least a year. I mean, you go to Woolworths right now, you still can't get things at Woolworths, but the trains have been running for the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And there's 4 trains a week or whatever it is, but it doesn't matter. We're still waiting on freight to come in.
And Lance, like things like silicon chips and stuff, I make product with electronics, so I've got silicon in my products. There was no real problem. I just had to commit to buy a year's worth of product and pay for it 6 months ago or 9 months ago, prepay it for a whole year's production in advance to just lock in the order. So it was no problem as long as you got the cash flow. But, that's easy for me to do on a very small company. When it's, Tesla or stuff where you're talking about billions of dollars, that becomes a bit more problematic.
Yeah. Crazy times,
Oh,
Yeah, unfortunately,
It's nearly done.
Hey, Harold, you mentioned, speaking of chargers that aren't working, you mentioned Margaret River before. It seemed like you had some info.
No, I've got no. There's no inside information. But what's frustrating is I think there are images on PlugShare, which you can see the issue. And what it is there are main big electrical cables coming out of the main DC power supply going to each of the stalls, and they're basically surface mounted. They just laid on the bitumen, and then there's like a cable tray. Well, they're mounted. They're laying on cable tray, and then there's a cover to that tray, a metal cover that's affixed onto the tray. But I think I've got PlugShare up, and there are a couple of sections where it's not covered, and because it's not covered, it has to be roped off for everyone's protection because they are uncovered electrical cables. I'll just bring it up on PlugShare live, and hopefully you can see one of the images. Well, you can't really see how you've got this tray here. You got that. That's perfectly legit and okay, but there is a section coming out of here where it sort of bends. The cable bends, and rather than it being a flat section, they've either got to put like an oversized box just covering where it sort of bends, or they've got to do like a curved bit of tin. So, if we went to Bunnings and got a sheet of 3x3 tin, we could cut it and bend it and peen it and get it, mess around for a couple of hours and probably fix the problem. But possibly the electrical contractor is getting someone they've ordered that thing, or they're getting around to it, or but unfortunately, it's been more than a month now that it's been nearly a month, sorry, that this charger has been built. In fact, this image was taken on the 23rd of February, and I think the one after it was the 26th, and that was fully operational. But since the 26th of February, it's been ready to go, but because of that technicality, and I mean, you can see most of the ducting is there. It's just around this little corner here where it needs a bit of duct. And that's why it's been roped off indefinitely. And it's frustrating.
It's crazy.
So, yeah, it's unfortunate. It really is. Tesla have commissioned it. It's all ready to go. It's just the last little bit of ornament or protection that it needs.
The cables are in conduit, but still it has to be covered.
No, they're not conduit, Pete. No, they're just circular cable. They're not in conduits. That's the issue.
They were in conduit.
It's plastic in conduit.
No. There's some of them are black. The DC cables are black. The AC going to the high power wall connectors, the AC destination chargers, they are in orange circular, 3-phase. Twin and quad and earth. So yeah, they're not in conduit. If they were in conduit, it would have been fine. You could just have conduit. That's fine. But because they're not conduited, they've just used that top cover of the cable tray. Sorry. But it's frustrating. So the writing's all there, everything's done, everything's mounted, but as we speak, I don't believe it's operational at the moment. So go figure. Hopefully, it'll happen soon. And hopefully the Perth supercharger, which is coming soon, will come soon. Presumably next quarter, because it was promised for Q1
2019.
This yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yes, the original Perth supercharger was coming 2017 actually.
Yeah.
I'll just bring up the supercharger map just in case that's changed. I don't think it has.
What about Lancelin, Harold?
No news on Lancelin. There's no news on Lancelin. The easiest way to see if Lancelin's going to happen anytime soon is to see if there's a transformer erupting out of the ground, because that will that'll tell you if and when that's coming anytime soon. So once they fit a transformer, then you'll know that it's coming. Just checking on the supercharger map now. Obviously, I think Margaret River actually shows on the map, but it's just not ready. No, it's not even. Oh, yes, it is. It's just a bit covered. If we just get rid of. So it's on Tesla's map. With 3 superchargers and 3 wall connectors, but they're just not available yet. But on their Perth map, there is the one that's notionally in Northbridge, but it's not going to Northbridge, and that's Q1 2022, and we've only got 7 days left, and we're going to miss it.
Oh no, they're working in tomorrow night.
Well, one thing I'm certain of is it will be quite close to where that pin is. Let's put it this way: it'll be in a radius of less than a few kilometres of where that is.
So they're going to put it in Northbridge?
No, a few kilometres.
From Northbridge.
Yeah, so for scale,
If it was in Northbridge, it'd be great because you could get stabbed and beaten up while you're getting charged.
Yeah, but then the problem is,
Great spot, Northbridge.
do you recall? Yeah, well, then if you get stabbed and then you die, and then your car stays on the charger. Imagine the idle fees would be horrendous. It'd be more than your funeral.
But the
terrible.
good thing is they'll rip up the asphalt and it'll just be dirt like they've got in the other places. So if you do get king hit, you'll fall down, but you only fall down on sand, so you'll be okay.
No, could they do that stuff that they have, that compressible rubbery
the
stuff,
playgrounds.
like in the playgrounds.
Softball,
That's it.
yeah.
So
Yeah, the
that's-
soft stuff. That'd be awesome.
Oh, that's much.
Good job.
Do all of Northbridge,
Do all of Northbridge.
just to keep it safe.
There's a few things they need to make.
But it is. I believe it's going.
They're changing the name of Northbridge to Beirut. It's a little bit politer. It's nicer, Beirut.
You're showing your age there, Jared.
Oh.
I believe it's going within a couple of kilometres of that pin. Giant tip.
You know where it is, Harold. You've scoped the area. You know exactly where. I can read you.
Have you got an
exactly
NDA?
where it's going.
Have you got an NDA, Jared?
He
Why do
knows,
you have an NDA?
he knows exactly where it's going. He's measured out the land. He's probably even got a clamp meter on just to see what the power consumption of the area is. You know, he knows exactly.
No. They need a tranny. They need a transformer.
Yeah, you've told him that after you did the.
No,
survey.
they know that. No, it's obvious because they're using a lot of power. They use lots of power.
So yeah, definitely. Yeah, you know exactly where it's going. Thank you, Harold.
But
Right
hopefully,
next
yeah.
to
But the Lancelin one will know as soon as, because we already know that there's a transformer going in there. They need a 1 megawatt transformer. So that's Lancelin, and then the Perth one. Yeah, it'll be probably next quarter or whatever, or the one after.
Which will happen first, you reckon, Harold? The Perth going in and up and running, or Pete Petrosky?
Oh yes, I know. I think
Pete shaving or Perth first. What's going to happen?
Look,
He's getting
Pete's had to stop shaving every 30 minutes and go back to like go to 1 hour intervals because it's getting expensive. So no, Pete will be first. Supercharged. Yeah, and then Lancelin will be second. So Lancelin, the council's only just approved it, and you got to do all the, you got to buy the transformers and all that sort of stuff. And who knows what the logistics are on transformers these days, because they're big items.
That's right.
With lots of copper and all that sort of stuff. So I don't even know where they're made. I mean, I know ABB used to do that sort of stuff, but who knows if they do that anymore or they just import it.
You're bringing them in.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd come in from some China warehouse.
Exactly. So, so there you go.
I'm going to head off, everyone. I'll see those at the movies on Tuesday.
Yep.
Yes.
Cool. Look forward to it, Andrew.
Don't say yes, Carmen, if you're not going to be there.
Good night.
I'm telling everyone that you're
Oh,
going to
good
be
night,
there.
Carmen.
Yes, I'm going.
Carmen,
Yes, I'm saying good night.
will we see you Tuesday, Carmen? Because I tell everyone, Carmen's going to be there because I get phone
It's a
calls.
possibility.
Strong possibility.
I think so.
It's like parallel universe.
I need to use my kilometers up.
Exactly. You're free charging.
It's going to be awkward now if you don't turn up, Jared. You realise that?
I'll be there. I've got to be there. It's part of an events committee I have to attend.
Events committee.
Yep. I put up my flag. I've got my
mandatory
flag.
attention.
It sounds good.
Put the
Good
hat
night,
on.
all.
Hat on.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Good night,
See you,
Carmen.
man.
Take care.
Have fun.
Pete, you got to be there early to guide the traffic like you were last time.
Yep. Right, see you all.
See you, Andrew.
See you,
you
Andrew.
Tuesday.
Yeah. Bye.
Danny.
I'm predicting 30 Teslas on Tuesday.
Oh,
Good call.
I'll predict the weather's. I'm not going to mention the weather, but it's going to rain earlier on.
That's a bit of a dark horse to know about that one.
Well,
Okay.
you got to do your research. You got to do your research, Jared.
I heard it was a good runner. I mean, the film's a dog. It's about
It's a dog of a movie.
It's a dog with fleas. But it's a good movie if you're into the Cluedo. It's all about.
It says possible 0 to 6 millimeters, 50% chance.
Yeah, right.
But I mean, we're in awesome cars that.
That's
yeah,
it. Can take their thing.
And it's going to be actually quite pleasant. It's going to be a minimum of 19, which is actually really pleasant.
And anyone that even hasn't got a Tesla like Lance, you could come up with your moped. You could drive your moped up there, Lance. Everyone's welcome. It's
Yeah, deal. I got a Harley.
Yeah, there was a few. There's a Harley. They can bring the Harley up. I'm sure Richard Cooper's going. Richard Chapman's going to drive his electric one up.
I guarantee I'll be on a teleconference like I am every night.
Good. So, Richard, the wife's away. You can definitely come.
Yeah.
Just don't bring that 18-year-old girlfriend of yours because she'll want to eat the popcorn. Oh, you bad boy.
Oh, sorry about that. Don't want to transmit dead air to the interwebs. Otherwise, the algorithm won't treat us very nicely. Speaking of which, if anyone is watching on YouTube, so you just go youtube.com/Tokwa, please make sure to ask any questions in the comment section so that we can answer those questions the next week. I can report that last week we got no comments, so there's no questions to ask. So that was awesome.
A couple of death threats. We've got a couple of death threats.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's... No, you don't... Well, but thankfully, Google filter those out pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's right.
But...
those Russian people can't spell very well. Those Russian soldiers.
Actually, it was funny because I actually watched the video. I only bumped into it literally by accident, and thankfully I didn't. When I put the dish, the Starlink dish, on the back of my car, I actually went to one of my mates' places to take a photo of it. So anyone who does a Google image search will target his house and not mine. But
yeah,
it's.
I know that mate of yours too.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll be happy. He's taller than you.
He is taller, and it's amazing. It's amazing how many places that image is turned up in. I'll try and, while you talk amongst yourselves, I'll try and find it. But I just bumped into it, and it's a guy that's in America just talking about Starlink and how he's going to disconnect it for various technical reasons. But he actually said that. Actually, I'll try and get it. So just have a little chat amongst yourselves for a moment, and I'll
ask a question if I could.
Yeah, go on. Go, Lance.
Anyone, the Tesla app, by the sounds of it, is good and robust. Does anyone use any third-party apps like the Tessie or whatever it's called?
Oh, that'd be a Richard Cooper. He uses all those things.
I'm being very quiet.
I used to use the Stats app because it was quite cool. I set it up so that I could just say to it to tell it to open the boot of the car while I'm walking up to it. But kind of became just a bit of a fad, and I kind of stopped using it.
Okay.
But it's pretty good. Yeah, because it was the only one that had what's called a complication for the Apple Watch. So if I was carrying some shopping to the car, I'd literally say, hey Siri, open the boot.
If they start offering those options where you can.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, I've run out of accessories to buy on YouTube videos to watch. I'm looking at apps I can buy now. So
that's pretty good. I should actually use it more.
Lance, you need to get that wooden decking.
That dark wood looked great.
It did look nice. I tell you.
That looked really slick.
And that guy sold it so well.
Yeah, it's questionable, but
yeah, that dark wood does look very Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
All right, I found this YouTube thing. I'll try. I hope I've got it the right spot, and it goes like this. Oh.
To maybe one day in the future return it, and they even ask you not to sell it to anyone. But I would love to maybe one day in the future reactivate it. If they start offering those options where you can just take the dish anywhere you want, and I could go on road trips, or I could go visit family in Australia and just bring the dish with me so that I have fast signal anywhere on the planet. Hopefully, once they start allowing that, I can reactivate my service. Otherwise,
really.
So anyway, that's just some random dude. His channel is Tailosive Tech. Somewhere he's got.
Actually, he's really good. Well, I think.
Did you get paid royalties for that, Harold?
Yeah, Harold.
No, I should sue his Canadian ass and take him, because he's got 242,000 subscribers and that's 87,000 views.
That's it.
That's prime for the taking.
Take him.
So-
take him out.
Otherwise,
And the
I'm just going to
car,
have
your
a
car is now
hopeful
literally in
Australia.
Ukraine, towing tanks.
I mean, look, like, you know, it fully shows the front of Jason's place and number plates and all, you know. But I think the Russians might think it's in Washington, so they're probably trying to do a Google image search in some place in Washington with weird cloud patterns. And look, two Starlink dishes. Who would have thought it?
Who would have thought?
Anyway, for some reason I bumped into this guy, and I saw the title saying, I'm cancelling Starlink. And I thought, oh, that's sort of interesting because it's a bit clickbaity. And I was just skipping through, and suddenly I saw my car and thought, WTF, what's that? What's that about? Anyway.
Yeah, it sounds like...
It's just one of those things that happens. And just like Alex, I think Alex was saying that he saw various, you know, people regurgitating that tweet. A bit like Elon's tweets, you know, you tweet out 5 words and people write a million paragraphs about it. Before we start wrapping up, because we're getting a bit later on, anything else that's happened or we might have missed?
Apparently, Russell will be out of Aikea another 2 weeks. Just want to wish him the best while he's there. Hopefully he's doing well. Apparently he was doing one of his little side shows, and one of the props went a bit crazy and took out some guy's ear. So that's why he's doing a few weeks in the big house. But I hope he still listens apparently, because he gets it smuggled in.
Is that right? So he always hears this before his name is said.
That's exactly what he hears, and a lot more now than before, put it that way. So I just want to say a big shout out to Russell, and I hope he's doing well in C Block. And we'll hopefully be out in a couple of weeks. We'll see him again, because I know that Pete's enjoyed the holiday. Pete's enjoyed the last 3 weeks off. He's normally
be on my toes, old Russell.
He's always stepping on Pete's toes with and between the high tech questions that he asks Harold, there's always a good one too. So we miss Russell. All the best. I hope he's back soon.
One of the take homes I got from this week is that when I get my Tesla from a major car accident, I can blame autopilot.
Yeah, that's you can blame that one.
Yeah. So that's actually really good to know.
Yeah, it's don't know if it works, but you can always blame it. I like to blame my wife when anything goes wrong. I say it's bloody Renee. I always go bloody Renee, and
but
it doesn't.
Where
really
was that
work
girl
for me
from?
well.
Because she was just here on holidays or something, wasn't she?
That was in Melbourne, I think.
Yeah,
It was a tram, wasn't it? A tram?
Yeah, tram. Yeah, it was near the trams. Yeah.
Is that what she said? That was
No, it was in Melbourne, I believe. I haven't seen that. Is there any?
That was yesterday, wasn't it? Was that the one that was yesterday?
Yeah, it was yesterday or the day before. It was near a tram stop, I think.
Isn't it amazing? A car accident happened with a Tesla, and that's major news.
Yeah.
I mean, how many car accidents did I see today? Probably 2 or 3. Because they're not a Tesla, we don't hear about it on the news.
I rode past an ice on fire on the freeway yesterday, so that was fun to watch.
Yeah, see, it was a Tesla, it'd be on the news.
Yeah.
Oh, been on the news around the world.
That's it. And be alerts, watch out. Tesla's on fire. And that's normally when Richard Cooper drives his car. He's known for some really handy work when it comes to driving, like his Lotus that he put upside down. So it's just a matter of time before he puts his Tesla in the same position, I reckon. So,
Exactly. Something that's probably good to wind down with is a cool video at the Fremont. Well, it's not a Gigafactory, but at Tesla in Fremont, showing how one of their Giga casting machines actually works, and it goes a bit like this. So this is one they've actually already gotten out of this hopper. So it's actually getting ready at the moment.
See, this needs your voice over it, Harold. Right now, getting the load out of the machine. That's what it needs.
Oh,
That's
look,
what
it's opening. Look at it.
it's
The,
opening up.
the vapors are emitting from it.
It just needs Harold's fucking sexy voice going.
You need the Ferris Bueller song.
Now they spray canola oil into the mold space.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's it.
And there it comes out. See that? It actually goes on a little trolley just here. And then it goes to reload. And then some dude eventually pulls it out. Hot off the press.
There it goes.
Yeah,
That'd be hot.
look at that.
And then it's basically rejigging itself here.
Got to go a lot faster than that, though.
Well, that's one. He's just come across the border. He's just started last week. And Pedro.
And you can see it's re-closing again. So unfortunately, this drone guy is not fantastic because he's not that interested. And then he buggers off to do other stuff.
Is this that famous drone guy that does all the stuff for the factory?
No, this guy's called. Oh yes, he's called Met God in Wilderness.
Yeah, that's the guy. Yeah.
So yeah, that's what he's called.
Hey,
But he's
Harold, I was going to show that video of Berlin that was on Twitter.
Is that the one?
Oh yes, go Pete.
Is that the same one, Pete, with the girls at that club?
Where are we?
Berlin.
Let me try it again.
Go
Here we
straight to
go.
the website, berlinsmackmybottom.com.
That's terrible, Russell. Oh,
Russ.
I mean, sorry.
Russell, that's terrible. What's going on with this video? This must be a Starlink problem. Pete, you're frozen. Pete,
Yeah, but he doesn't know that yet. It's gonna have to buffer or something. Notice how it says factory mode.
Yeah, right,
It's a bit hard to see.
The steering wheel's on the wrong side, though.
I know.
It's-
No, that's not working. Pete's not, and Pete doesn't know because he's probably clagged out on Starlink.
Yeah.
Oh, you're back, Pete. We didn't get that, mate.
You froze down.
Oh,
We couldn't see it properly. Is it on Twitter? Can you please just put it in chat if you can do that, and then it might work better from my end, possibly. Or it might be your iPad or something doing something weird.
Yeah, as soon as you go to Germany.
Where did I see it? I saved that bit to my photos, so I was just
Oh, right. Gotcha. Yeah, understand. Yeah.
see if I can find it.
As soon as you go to German sites, that sort of stuff happens.
Oh,
Shut down. Call it Berlin, call it, whatever you want to call it.
Filled with viruses.
Yeah, red light district. That's speaking of viruses, Richard Cooper. Thanks again for sending me that beautiful virus that you sent me. The what was it called? The Microsoft Plague 0.52.
I don't know what it was called.
Well, lucky I'm an Apple man and I don't open up Plague stuff or it doesn't work with Apple, so thank God.
Well, I'm an Apple man too, but
You're sending
cause a problem. I just
sending some dodgy stuff out. I don't know what it was.
send it to everyone. Yeah,
I know.
It's better to give than to receive.
It is true. That's right. And they say that at the COVID where the
Speaking of giving and receiving, this is what happens when you have a brand new Tritium fast DC charger. And this is the next slide is when you receive lots of
Holy shit.
Oh, shit.
stuff that clogs up your said radiator for the Tritium fast DC charger. This is at UW. This is at UWA, and this is the stuff. It's like those. Oh, it's not the willow. It's like an acorn. What's that called? Not oak trees. The maple trees. They've got like a husk that's got all this sort of fairy stuff that just woofs around, and get sucked into the intake.
It's a wolf intaker.
Wow.
Yes, so that's something that happens when you receive rather than give, and that caused the unit to overheat.
Oh, it's not from the Netherlands. We're not talking about the Netherlands. I thought we were talking about.
No, that's not. No.
We're going to Amsterdam.
So no, we're not going to Amsterdam yet. But Pete's looking around.
They do.
Here, I'm just putting it into chat now, Harold.
Yeah, cool. Got it, Pete. I'm going to bring it up in 2 seconds.
Richard Cooper, have you been to Amsterdam?
No,
Really? You would have travelled?
no, don't do drugs.
Drugs.
Okay, so it goes like this.
And that's just the lunchroom. It's amazing.
The only thing is, I wonder if they've taken that backwards. No, they haven't. So it's a 360 drone. So it's a drone with, it's a FPV drone with a 360 camera. So they've just looked at the backwards view. What was really cool is if you have a look at
The two guys high-fiving themselves.
no, this thing here. This is the conveyor that the cars go along, and you see these little notches here. That's actually where the front tires go on. You can't really see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
And then at the end, it actually disappears, and it's like a travelator. So it then turns around. Whoops, sorry. It then spins around and goes back to where it came from, and then keeps rotating around and around. It's really cool.
It's the final inspection bay where they're looking for paint defects and crap.
Yes, if all the light columns. That's exactly right, Richard. Yeah.
It's Sven and Hatzwitz checking.
Although I must admit, the thing with paint inspection was funny because we had a factory. It was a tour of the.
Fremont.
It's a factory in the Netherlands. Not Trondheim. No.
Where they assemble them.
Where they sort of assembled the Model S's coming in as sliders. Tilburg. Sorry, thanks, Tilburg. Thanks, Richard. Tilburg. And what they did was they'd bring Model S's in sea containers, and they called them sliders, where they wouldn't mount the rear motor. I think it was the rear motor or the front. It was one or the other. So technically the car wasn't fully assembled. So it avoided Europe's import tariff or duty on cars. So it was a reduced tariff rate if they did like final assembly in Europe. So what was sort of funny was that the lady who was taking us on the tour was very enthusiastic about the final inspection where they were inspecting the paint. And everyone sort of like laughed and rolled their eyes and went, yeah, right, the paint's really good and, fit and finish. And it was all, everyone sort of chortled at when she was really vehemently saying how closely they inspect their cars. And I dare say Pete, who was ahead of the curve, Pete always is ahead of the curve, but his paint job is not so ahead of the curve. It probably could have needed a bit more baking before it reached the proper cure curve. Hey, Pete?
An extra 30 seconds. It's already would have taken, apparently.
So there are kings that would give up their kingdom for a horse, and Pete would give up a great paint job for 30 seconds. Well. It's all good, Pete.
Speaking of paint jobs, there's the silver coming out of Berlin, apparently, 8 coats, and red with 13 layers.
Crimson. Yep.
Yeah.
That's amazing. 13 layers. I mean, I don't even know how they do that. They'd have to.
Dry.
You'd have to have. You'd have to almost have like a recirculating.
Baking area.
Unless you had it really long. Unless you deliberately had a long section that most cars, well, nothing happened, or you'd have to take the car out, and as a batch, and sort of store it, and then feed it back into the paint. Like, because I presume each layer would be different to get the effect. It wouldn't just be this, it wouldn't just be 13 passes of the same paint. It would have to be 13 different.
So that would. So I wonder if do they have baths or is it sprayed on?
They do have. I think it's called an e-coating where they and I can't find the video this minute, but I think it's one of the Giga Shanghai videos, which frustratingly they don't actually translate to English, which is just ridiculous that they don't go to that effort. And it shows the whole thing dipping in and turning upside down, like rotating in the bath. And I think while it's doing that, it might be electrically charged or like a electroplating to get this e-coating on to stop any corrosion. Because,
How
a lot of
you need to go to a panel beater.
Sorry?
How does that work if you need to go to a panel beater?
Control.
Well, when you go to the panel boider, and his name's Poiter, he just puts a bit of, zinc bog on there or something, and it'll be all right, mate.
You'll be all right.
Should be all right. But, I mean, because cars these days just don't really rust much, whereas, when we were younger, I had a 10-year-old XC Falcon that I got in 1987, and it was a 1977 model, and it was fully rusted out. It was wrecked.
Yeah.
But, you get any 10-year-old, even cheap cars, and they're in pretty good nick.
We had the old Kingswood station wagon with the old tailgate rusted out at the bottom. Perfect.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Whereas now all you get is old cars that all the top coat's gone, and then that gets to the base coat, and then it looks a bit crappy.
Yeah.
And then you've got Pete's car, whose paint is softer than his fingernails.
So that's legit. You had a dodgy batch, did you, Pete?
No, it's just they will get it that way.
It was it was. So Elon said in an interview that the very early cars were great. The ones after the ramp up were great. It's just the cars during the ramp up, when they were just trying to, get them through as quickly as they could, had problems. And he said, had they waited to let one of the layers cure for an extra 30 seconds, it would have been great. But as a result of that, the paint is so soft, I could scratch it with a microfiber cloth. That's how soft it is.
Really?
Mm.
Shit. Did they do anything about it?
Well, I had they resprayed the front for me, the front. But I mean, I just, it was one of the first ones in WA, so I was an early adopter, I suppose, with a Model 3, so I just accepted it. So I just don't know what to do with it because it's a real pain now, because I've had the car for almost 3 years now, so wondering whether I just respray the whole thing or try and fix it up.
Are you going to keep the car?
It's a hard one.
He's not. He's going to buy a Model Y.
I was just thinking, I wonder if you could get it detailed. I wonder if they could buff it back and then you get a full PPF. Quite good. Because mine's
wrap it.
That's what I was, because I knew the paint wasn't going to be good at the start. So I was, the reason why I got the black is because that was the free color. And I thought, well, I don't care what color it is. I might as well get the free one because I'll wrap it anyway. And but I never did. So I just and never did it. Anything about it.
Change the color. Yeah.
Just wrap it now and sell it for 100K.
Exactly. My Model Y.
Well, Pete and I have discussed this several times, and we're both torn, and the two of us, or each of us, or both of us, simultaneously can mount two totally opposite arguments, and the actual answer is not clear. So I'll do the first one, which is I could sell my car and just buy Tesla shares and wait. And then in a few years' time, probably triple or quadruple my money. And then what could you do, Pete?
You can have a haircut and a shave.
Because what you could do, Pete, is not sell your car because ... When you get a replacement car, you're going to buy a replacement, right? Because you got a car on order. That's not secret.
Because it's going to cost me money.
Yeah, but what could you do with your old car?
With my current car?
Yes.
Rent it out?
Yeah, no, so, okay, right. Well, no, remember how we discussed this? I'll do both sides of the argument.
Yeah, please
I've
do.
got an old X. I've got an old X. Pete now has an old 3.
Yep.
And sometime next year we're going to receive a car that could be its notional replacement. So I'm ordering an X. I have ordered an X, and on Friday the 13th of May, it'll be 420 plus 69 days since I ordered it. But anyway, I'll get it sometime next year. And then my conundrum is, do I sell the car and liquidate it for money? Because and this is a car that's got free unlimited lifetime supercharging, and it's got FSD.
Only while you own
for
the car.
life.
While you
Sorry?
own the car. While you own the car.
No, mine is FSD it transfers with the car.
Oh, really?
So, yes,
Same with the charging?
and the charging is free, unlimited, lifetime supercharging, forever, for the whole life of the car, not the life of my ownership, the whole car,
Okay.
the car's life. So, my choice is, when the new car comes, I can sell it and liquidate it for cash and buy Tesla shares with it and then wait, like sit on those shares. Or I could park the car at work in a garage and just leave it because it's got FSD.
Gotcha. Okay, I see where you're going.
Right, yeah.
So you go, Pete. Go and finish my argument while I hop out for a sec. So you go and talk about that your side of the FSD argument for a moment or two.
Yeah, so the argument
Got
is
me?
that, yes, the car will depreciate. So everything about the car, the panels, the steering wheel, the seats, the screen, everything will depreciate, except that one little chip, a little full self-driving chip, which at some point will potentially be worth, as Elon said, $100,000 US.
Yeah, it'll appreciate
So,
it.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
So you
one.
could,
But the chip
you
is
could
the
keep the
chip is
car
worth
and sell it for $150,000 Australian.
the chip's worth nothing. It's just the relationship with Tesla that's worth that. Because if you pull
True.
the chip out and put it in another car, it won't work.
No, exactly. Yeah.
So if you write off that car, you're stuffed.
True.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's the big risk. Yeah.
Yeah, that is a risk.
Unless you got it insured for that value that it's worth.
But you can't insure a $50,000 car for $150,000. They won't let you do it.
No.
But by that point, it might not be a $50,000 car. It might be $100,000 car.
Yeah, right. Good luck with that.
Well, if they're all selling in the market at that price, whether they're using their silly what they call it, glasses guide or whatever they're using,
It'd almost be just like a different model, right? You've got your top of the range, middle range, low range. If you've got FSD, it's just another range.
Yeah.
And they price accordingly. So
Hey, is yours a performance or is yours a one of these stealthy ones?
Mine's a stealth one, yeah.
What's yours insured for?
Good question. I know it goes down every year and the premiums go up. I know that much. Yeah.
So there you go. So Pete and I both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah. Well, I just finished actually a lease on my ICE vehicle. I just bought it out. I depreciated at the highest rate because I was planning on keeping it until I've just decided to go electric. But bought it out for 11 grand, and I'm about to sell it for 40. So
that's a nice deal.
Yeah, the market's just crazy at the moment. It's just mental.
Which Tesla are you getting, Lance?
I only went the long range. I
that's
actually like the look of the performance, but the long range kind of hit all the specs,
And
the
you don't
ability
have
to
to put-
increase acceleration,
And you don't have to put it
15
up with
grand
those-
cheaper. So
and you don't have to put up with those stupid 20-inch wheels.
I actually like the look of those turbines. I think they look great.
Oh, they do. Did you hear how long mine lasted?
No.
I got 5 kilometers into my first drive with my family and I ruptured a tire.
Oh, really?
5 kilometers. Yeah. So it was delivered on a flatbed because that's how they did it in the old days. And 2 hours later, it was back on a flatbed.
Oh, shit.
So I've run 18 inches for 2.5 years, 2.25 years. Yeah.
You know, I actually went into the purchase a little bit blind. I saw my mates, he said they're cheaper now. I jumped online, had a look, 3 models available. I went, oh, long range, I'd prefer to get more Ks, better performance, dual motor. Performance looks good, a little bit too expensive. So I rang them up and said, hey, can I take a test drive? And they said, which one? I said, the long range. Jumped in it, 2 minutes after driving it, I went, yeah, I'll buy one. I didn't even try the performance.
You won't be disappointed. Just get the performance upgrade. There's hardly any difference.
Yeah, and that gets you reasonably close within half a second. So, I mean, it blew my mind. I put my foot down. My son was in the back. He said, Dad, be careful when you put your foot down. I said, what do you know? He goes, I've been in one. And I put my foot down and I just went, woohoo, this is just brilliant. And my wife said, I feel sick. Stop. That was it. Sold. I'll buy one.
So what did you get for her? Your wife?
Yeah, next question.
No, I mean, you said you sold her. Oh, you meant the car. Sorry.
Yeah, the car. Yeah. Yeah. They must, it must be a great job watching people come back after a half-hour test drive with just the biggest smiles on their faces, not knowing what they're about to get into.
Yeah.
Well, nearly everyone that drives a car just says, just take my money. I don't care. I just want one.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was
That's
jumping
exactly
into...
what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just went for one test drive. We ordered it. Went for a second test drive just to out of the functionality and waited, and we got ours on the 9th of March.
So why did you go and have a test drive? I'm interested.
Just because I wanted to feel what it was like. I've never driven an electric car. I drove a hybrid once, a very short distance. I could see the difference. I have a solar system at home. I'm environmentally conscious. And of course, coincidentally, petrol prices are going crazy. So I got mine just before the $2 petrol price.
And the thing is, Norm, it actually, for you, the strangest thing that anyone experiences when they hop in the car is the regen, because no one is used to it unless you drive a manual car in, say, second everywhere or an automatic car in first. You're just not used to that lifting off the accelerator because, you know, as we know, petrol car, you've got to lift off and you got your foot on your brake. Otherwise, you're going to careen through the, traffic light. But in the Tesla, when you first drive it, it's the most disconcerting thing. So, if Tesla wanted to convert 95% of people that test drive the car, they should temporarily turn off regen, just so it feels a bit more familiar.
It took 5 minutes for me anyway, and it was natural. In fact, it was actually really positive driving it without your foot on the brake. To be honest,
It's like driving a bumper car.
It is. I mean,
yes.
When I first started driving mine, the one we test drove, and I knew when I got up to 120 in a 60k zone, I knew that it was for me. That's the car that I wanted. I mean, I knew straight away that it was just made for me.
I got to admit, I went there. I wasn't there to buy a car. I saw the price for my lease car that I just bought, and I got told they're cheaper. Went and took it for a test drive. And look, I'm environmentally conscious, but I actually didn't buy it in the end because it was green and electric. I bought it because it was a hell of a lot of fun to drive, and it was just something completely different. And the positive about the back end was it's green as well. And taking that transition, that step, has just made me rethink the whole green argument now, and just consolidated my decision over and over. So, but that performance just blew my mind. It was just fantastic.
I hardly ever wear my seal pup fur boots anymore. I'm completely environmentally friendly. I don't. I put that on one side.
Every barbecue discussion now, when we're talking about Teslas, it's funny. It tends to be the green discussion first now, and then the performance second. You know, it's quite weird how it's just turned, and I haven't got my car yet.
Lance, let me warn you, you will be taking lots of people for rides.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. In fact, I might even drive home from pubs at times. I might be the designated driver.
Oh yeah,
I'm okay with that.
I met a lady who's one of our members that actually said that she's now become the skipper because she actually prefers to drive her car than have a few drinks at the pub, which is awesome. It's amazing, you know.
My problem is I drove it. It blew my mind. I've told everyone how quick it is. It's now been 12 weeks, and I've kind of been thinking, am I going to get in and be disappointed now? Because it's been 12 weeks. I've told everyone how quick it is. It's going to feel slow again.
Lance, this is exactly what I thought. This is exactly, I was waiting 3.5 years for my car. And for 3.5 years, I was watching Google, YouTube videos. I've taken Teslas for drives. I was in a Tesla on a racetrack, a P100D. And then the night before, literally the night before, I said to my wife, I said, I've just had an epiphany. I've just realized I've been setting myself up for disappointment because by the time this car comes, I mean, I've set my expectations so high, no car can meet those expectations. I'm going to be, I'm going to be really disappointed when it comes tomorrow. And nothing could have been further from the truth. Really? So even those high expectations were exceeded. So.
And Pete, what about now, mate?
Took him 4 days to get out of the car. The car. His wife was saying, "Pete, come back inside the house." He's like, "No, another couple of days."
My wife often finds me in the garage watching Netflix or something in the car, just because it's comfy and it's cool and it's nice, and why not?
That's awesome.
So Pete, all these 2.5 years later, is Lance going to be disappointed and want to change to get something else?
No way.
Well, I do want to. He will want to get something else, but it's only going to be another Tesla because the statistics are
100%. I agree with you. 100%.
89% of people that buy a Tesla end up buying a Tesla for their second car. It's just incredible statistics.
So Lance,
never dropped in a car and within seconds, like 30 seconds, gone, I actually think I'm going to buy a car, and I wasn't even going to buy a car.
So Lance,
it transformed me. Like
I'm getting a Cybertruck.
Awesome.
Next year, as soon as I can get it, I've ordered it. So as soon as I can get it, I'm getting the Cybertruck, and then
It won't be next year.
Well, year after. I don't mind waiting. I'm okay with waiting because I know it's going to be good. And then the next car will be a Model S Plaid, and I guarantee I'm
going the Plaid. Wow.
Going the Plaid. Yep, correct. 100%. And that will be probably in about 2 years' time.
Yeah, I've got a colleague at work.
They're the only cars that I want to have.
I've got a colleague at work. Her friend works for Tesla in the US and often has meetings with Elon. And she took a picture of him driving the Plaid around as his work car. It's nice.
It's his daily driver.
Yeah. That's the car I want.
Hard to take.
It's the Cybertruck quite often too, though.
Yeah. He does, but I think his S is his daily driver. That's his daily.
He takes the Cybertruck.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, I'd never want another ICE car again. And I've had Saharas, I've had all kinds of cars over the years, and I tell you, I would never buy an ICE car again.
It's like, would you go back to a Nokia phone? Of course.
Exactly. It's exactly the same.
Absolutely.
You never.
I don't see myself moving from this path at all. One thing I can't reconcile is jumping in a 4.4 second car and blowing my mind. I can't work out what a 2.1 second car would feel like. I really can't.
Doesn't make
twice as good.
Yeah, that's what I reckon.
I reckon it's exponential, to be honest.
I can't wait. I cannot wait.
Actually, Lance, I've got
I'll probably
a.
lose my license in the first week, but that's no.
Hey, Richard, to answer your question, I dug up my insurance policy. So when I first got my car, it was insured for 107 grand, and now it's down to 95.
95. Oh, that's not bad.
With RACP?
Yeah.
How many Ks you got? That's 3 years old.
It's about 65.
So that's probably reasonable, isn't it, in terms of market value?
Oh,
you're not far from it.
You'd get 100 for it now, easy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You get 100 for it tomorrow.
Well, it's got FSD, so I
probably
Oh,
get more.
shit. Okay. Right.
100 for it.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And the thing is, that's how much I paid for it. I paid 100 grand.
How much did you pay for FSD?
7,100 at the time.
Okay.
Now
it's 10,100, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Lance, you said that you can't reconcile the 4.4 seconds to the 2 point something, not many seconds.
Yeah.
This might help you understand what that would feel like.
There you go.
Good job, Laszlo. Keep it up. 10 seconds. Doing good. Nice job. 15 seconds.
Yep. It's like Richard Cooper.
20.
Yep.
That's worth paying 250 grand for, isn't it?
Oh, hell yeah.
And keep the legs strained all the way down.
He was 21 before he did that.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
9 Gs and he sustained that. Awesome.
That's amazing.
9 Gs. That's big.
Yeah, that is huge. Normally people black out on 2, don't they?
Oh, just a few Gs, and they're all like, oh, they just can't handle it.
Well, the Model 3 Performance will pull almost, pretty much a G, 1 G.
Well, you got the videos of the launch where they throw up a twisty or something, or a burger ring or whatever,
Yeah, it catches in the back seat.
and then they catch it in the back seat, in the middle of the back seat. It's hilarious.
Well, you just put it in track mode and it tells you what your Gs you pull.
Was it Tesla?
I've done
track mode in
Tesla burger ring.
Launch. It's not a lolly. It's a
track mode.
Tip or a burger ring or twisty.
Oh, launch into mouth. Here we go. Tesla launch into mouth. No, we don't want.
Oh, you haven't gone to the German website, have you, Harold?
No, it's just not.
Schnitzer, Snatzenhausen. With the Wiener Schnitzel, the Wurzelklasen. That's
Yeah.
Wurzelklasen. Oh,
I'm gonna have to prepare. No, it's just not there. But I have seen it, and it literally they just throw it up, and obviously they've tried probably 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
But they do get it, straight in the gob. It's awesome.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Go.
It's a good video.
Go, Jared. I'm sure it's whatever
I've
you.
seen it. Oh, I was just going to say about the time that I was in Vegas and that we're at the bar at the I can't remember that famous hotel that's really, really flush hotel that we were staying at. And we're at this bar and all the hookers go to the bar and there's probably about, 30, 40 hookers on a Saturday night there. And we were counting them all, counting all the hookers and calling them Black Uber.
Hang on. 2 seconds. Jared.
Yeah, that got Pete. Pete got into the doghouse for 3 weeks.
The look on Pete's face.
Look, he's frozen. He's frozen in time. Look at that.
That's the look
he had in
He's
his face
frozen.
when he's like, Pete, you're going to go into the spare room for 3 weeks. And he's back now. There he is.
You look like you enjoyed that, Pete.
Did you guys see any of that? No.
We only saw your evil face.
Oh.
The smiling
No,
scream.
it sort of froze.
You saw the smiling scream.
Well, I don't know why.
Is Richard Chapman still there? I'd like to just check on him. Richard Chapman, come in. Richard Chapman, I know you're there, you're lurking.
Oh, he's having a sleepy.
He's getting ready for. Yeah, there you go. So tomorrow you've got to actually do something. What are you going to do? I mean, you have to pull out something, maybe some drawings or something. Start with a little light stuff like a drawing of a truck or something, and
I might write a scope of works. I'm not sure.
yeah. I mean, if you get in there and just go toot toot, I'll go. Yeah, no worries. He's good. He's under
Start
control.
talking Morse code.
Yeah, just talking secret train stuff. That's what you got to do. You'll be fine.
I'll try and find the video that
And I was telling my
that
great
Pete
story
was
about
trying to show.
all these Uber girls at the hotel bar, and there was these two German guys, and they're the most ugliest guys. They look like they worked in a sausage factory. I'm sure one was named Schnauzenhausen, the other one was named Schnitzenhausen. And these two girls, they just worked these guys because they were gone in minutes. And these Uber black girls, they just took these guys up to the hotel room where they, do things with them and stuff. And they came back straight after. I think they fell in love for like 25 minutes, which is pretty amazing in Vegas. So, but yeah, they look like they worked in a German factory, a Giga factory like that. They look like sausage manufacturers. So.
Oh, this is what Pete was going to show. Sorry, I was unmuted then. This is what Pete was going to show, and then after that we'll do a pause. Sorry for those in YouTube land, where I'll do some bonus content that we just get demonetized again if I put it on. So this is what it looks like. Oh, audio. Why is there no? You can't hear that, can you?
No.
Oh, that's because it's.
Look at Pete. Doesn't he look evil? Look at he looks evil. Like
Sorry, I've just got to. I'm being very unprofessional. Here we go.
He's like, I have you now.
You don't have a Sonic or anything? No.
You got 3 weeks in the shed for that.
Hang on, listen to the response.
You just wanted a reaction video, bro.
How was that? See, people say Teslas are quiet cars. There was nothing quiet about that.
Was that a safety to track, Pete? What was that?
It sounded like tyres squeaking.
Yes, it was, Jared.
It was a track, was it? A safety track?
It was, mate. Yeah.
Right. I didn't know they built all these houses near the safety tracks.
Yeah, no, it's one of those EV ones because they can build it right next to the houses because they're not loud, you see.
Yeah, right. That makes total sense.
So what I'm going to do is just pause it. Apologies for those in YouTube land, but hey, you should have been here live to watch it.
But
and welcome back. The reason why we were away for a little while is because we don't care, because the share price is $1,026.
Oh, it's come down a bit.
So we can afford to be a bit sleep deprived. So it's all good. But yeah, it is probably bedtime times for most of us because it's getting a bit late.
Yeah.
I think Pete's got a few buy orders to put in on the Nasdaq and a couple of calls, a few puts to process.
Playing golf tomorrow, Pete? Playing golf tomorrow afternoon with Richard? Yep.
I wish.
Cash and pull it hard.
He had his leg up. He had his leg up.
I've modified my mod. So it's further up and it's further across.
So it's a mod. It's a modded mod.
I've modded a mod, yeah. It wasn't a very good mod because it's built for left-hand drive cars, not right-hand drive cars.
Oh, really? What the standard mod is? So it swivels more to the left and to the right.
No, it swivels the same, but it's not. Doesn't swivel centrally. The pivot is off to the right-hand side. So I've moved it to the left-hand side and also lifted it up higher.
So does that mean you have to turn it over, turn it upside down to get it to do that, like backwards?
No. Just a bit of engineering on it.
Cool.
You be there on Tuesday, Pete? You coming?
Yes, mate.
Yep. Harold?
Bringing me a bottle of wine.
Probably. I think I am. Yeah, there's no reason why I'm not coming. Yes. I'll say
Norm,
yes.
You're going to be there, Norm? You playing?
No, I won't be able to make it. Thanks.
Okay, we'll be thinking of you, Norm. Lance, you'll be rolling up in your petrol power car?
Oh, do you want me to pick you up, Lance?
I'm on work calls every night of the week, except Wednesdays, which I've booked out now because there's other special calls on.
Oh, there you go.
Don't come here again. You can just hear your life wasting away.
It's very addictive.
Hey, it's a good break from work. I give you the tip.
It is.
It does beat working, although I must admit, I have not watched one of these videos front to back. I just couldn't do that to myself. But, you know, sometimes you just don't do it. You just don't watch your own work. Hey, we better wrap this up. I think, as has been traditional for a while, I've let Pete had the second last word. So, Pete, what would you say to wrap up this show?
As always, stay safe, stay sustainable, and stay ahead of the curve. Ciao.
And I think tonight I've actually got nothing more to add than just reiterate. Just do all of that. Enjoy your Teslas. Enjoy your week. See you next Tuesday. Look forward to it. And also see you next Wednesday for Ask Us Anything. Take care, everyone.
Tuesday drive-ins.
Tuesday drive-ins. Wednesday Ask Us Anything. Have a great night. Have a great week, everyone. See you later.
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
Take care.
It's